Hi guys, welcome to Chris's channel for the huge Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspur six-pointer. I'm Barnaby Slater. I'll be hosting this watch-along on the channel. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. And of course, please do press a like on this video. Let's get this watched by as many Spurs fans as we possibly can. How are you guys feeling at home about this game? Is it something where Tottenham can do what Tottenham seem to do quite a lot at the moment, which is lose the games like against Ipswich, like against Palace, that we're expected to win, but then turn up against the big teams? I certainly, for one, am hoping so. Chris Cowlin will be doing his usual post-match Spurs chat podcast after this watch-along. That'll be with Craig Dearman, Harry Scarf, and Kate Boxall. So make sure you watch this and then stay tuned at about 8 o'clock for that with Chris Cowlin. But let's straight away get into the team news, shall we? Let's see if we can show this for you. Yeah, Tottenham made a few changes from their last game. The team is as follows: Vicario, Porro, Udogie, Davies and Dragusin in the centre-back roles. How do you feel about that? Are you as scared about it as I am? Realistically, it is quite a scary prospect. But don't forget, we did go into last year's game at the Etihad with Ben Davies and Emerson Royal at centre-back. So we got a draw then, 3-3. So who knows? Bissouma, Sarr and Maddison comes back into central midfield, meaning that Decky Kulusevski will be pushed out onto the right wing with Sonny on the left and Dominic Solanke up front. Manchester City, as I spoke about in videos all this week, have had a lot of injuries recently, but now a lot of those injuries are back classically against us. So their team is Edison, Walker, Stones, Akanji and Gvardiol, then Lewis, Gundogan and Bernardo Silva, with Savinho, Foden and Haaland up front. Should say the Tottenham bench is Fraser Forster, Jed Spence, Hardy, Gray, Bergvall, Olusisi, Johnson, Werner, and Lancashire. And there will be a couple of names on there that you probably haven't really heard of, not unless you're kind of academy followers. So I'll tell you a little bit about those boys. Callum Olusisi, 17 years old. He's a central midfielder. He was a regular part of our under-18s in 22-23. Went full-time with Spurs as a scholar in July 23 and part of our under-17 and under-18 Premier League Cup double winning side last term. He also played twice in the under-19s UEFA Youth League. So he's a central midfielder, Callum Olusisi, just 17 years old. It does show that, I guess, Big Ange Postecoglou is showing faith in some of those young players coming up through the academy, but also it shows what an injury crisis we've got at the moment. The other player you might not have heard of is Malachy Hardy, 16 years old, a defender who joined the club at just 8 years old. Started out as a midfielder. He usually operates as a centre-back now. He's an England under-16 international, made 7 appearances for our under-18s in the latter months of the 23-24 season. So there's some of the young guns that we've got on the bench today. Manchester City's bench includes Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, and Nathan Ake, amongst many others. So, yeah, we're looking a little bit weak on the bench. But of course, we do have Brennan Johnson to come off the bench. How do you feel about the fact that Brennan Johnson is not starting today? He had a good week internationally for Wales. And he's been playing pretty well for Spurs. He hasn't scored for a few games, but he has been playing pretty well since a difficult start of the season, after which he was forced, if you remember, to turn off his social media. He did that and then scored something like 6 in 6, but he's not starting today, and Kulusevski will be playing on the right. And for me, I think that is because Ange Postecoglou wants to keep the ball a little bit more in the final third. Brennan Johnson, obviously a lot more direct than Kulusevski, but I think he thinks if he brings Maddison in for Kulusevski at central midfield, and then Kulusevski on the right in for Johnson, we've got more chance of keeping the ball in the final third, and therefore the attacks coming back at us won't be coming as quickly. But let me know in the comments what you think. I'll get into it with you in those comments. Also, obviously, a huge chance for James Maddison to really silence some doubters today, isn't there? A real chance. People have been talking about Maddison not being in the best form. Ange Postecoglou obviously dropped him for a couple of games. It's his birthday today. I think it's his 28th birthday. And pretty much the last thing we saw him do really well for Spurs anyway was that great free kick, wasn't it? The 4th goal, I think it was, against Aston Villa. So long may form like that continue. And hopefully James Maddison, like I said, can silence some of those doubters. I've already seen in the comments some people already getting in on Radu Dragusin. Now, for me, I'm going to tell you this. I don't think he's the best player with the ball. I think that's been proven, and it is a bit of a strange signing from Scott Munn and Johan Lange and Big Ange Postecoglou, because if they're signing players solely for Big Ange Postecoglou's system, you'd have to say, wouldn't you, that Radu Dragusin doesn't seem like a natural fit on the ball. However, what he really is great at is as a box defender, getting his body in the way, making clearances, intercepting balls, and getting his head on set pieces. And we will have our backs to the wall more in this game today than we have done most of the season, because Manchester City will have more of the game. And as Big Ange Postecoglou actually proved in that game towards the back end of last season that all the fans needed us to lose, and we did end up losing, we actually played more of a double pivot that day, and we played a little bit more defensively, hitting Man City on the counter-attack. We also did similarly in the Carabao Cup game a few weeks ago that we won, and therefore I think Dragusin could be an important member of today's side. But let me know if you completely disagree. Let me know in the comments, and let's see what happens. Ben Davis, in terms of him, I think he will always give 110%. He offers good natural balance as the left-hand side of those two centre halves. And, you know, very rarely does worse than a 7 out of 10, Ben Davis. So I'm pretty comfortable with having him there. Like I said, he did a good job there, didn't he, last season at the Etihad alongside Emerson Royal. And I think he's got a better centre half alongside him today. Wanted to talk a little bit about Yves Bissouma. Obviously, now that Rodrigo Bentancur is out for 7 games, maximum, you'd think, because they've appealed. They're hoping to get that 7th game, which is actually the Liverpool game, taken off it. That's why they've appealed. I don't agree with the appeal personally. Let me know in the comments what you think. But that's what it is. I wish we hadn't appealed. But Bissouma now has a real chance to lay his claim as that central defensive midfielder, like he was in the first 10 games of last season, in spectacular form, linking up really well with Udogie, linking up really well with Maddison and Porro. And I want to see some more of that from Yves Bissouma today. Players are in the tunnel, by the way. Spurs looking pretty fresh and up for it. Deki Kulusevski, I'm sure you saw him in the week when playing for Sweden. He said before their game against Azerbaijan that he was hungry and he wants to eat. I think Deki Kulusevski is a potential future Tottenham Hotspur captain, and I'd love to see him put in as good a performance today at the Etihad as he did last season as the players make their way onto the pitch. But yeah, going back to Yves Bissouma, he's going to be pressed hard by Manchester City. He's going to have to take the ball on the half turn. He's going to have to be brave. And we're going to need, if we're going to get any kind of result at the Etihad today, we're going to need a huge performance from Yves Bissouma. Another interesting thing I think we need to watch out for in this game, Savinho versus Udogie. I was very impressed with Savinho in the Carabao Cup game. He caused us a lot of problems down that side, and he is rapid. And Tottenham, as we well know, leave a lot of space in behind our fullback. So I wonder whether Ange Postecoglou has done anything about that, has told his defenders to just be a little bit more pragmatic. It doesn't sound very Ange Postecoglou, does it? But who knows? I think the key things about today's game are Man City. Will they backlash to having lost 4 games in a row? Pep Guardiola's first time having lost 4 games in a row. The result? He signed a new 2-year deal with the club. They've got a lot of their injured players back. And will there be a backlash? And then on Tottenham's side, can we be clinical enough with our chances to put them under pressure? If we're going to make those chances, we have to take them. That's the key at the Etihad. Down the years, we've done it pretty well. We're a bit of a bogey type team for Manchester City, but we need to take those chances. Just want to remind you now of Ange's record as Tottenham Hotspur boss. Sorry, that's the starting 11. Let's go to this one. 58 games, 31 wins, 8 draws, and 19 defeats. That's 49 Premier League games, 3 League Cup, 2 FA Cup, and 4 Europa League. What do you think in the comments about Ange Postecoglou? Is he under pressure? Is this game a free hit, or is it because we lost that Ipswich game at home, it's no longer a free hit, and actually Ange Postecoglou is under a little bit of pressure? For me, I don't think he is. I think it's too soon to say that. But the thing is about Tottenham is we don't draw, do we? We only lose or win. So it feels like possibility is either Man City will have that backlash and kind of possibly really, really pump us, or maybe we can do something that would be really unexpected to everyone, which is go to the Etihad and somehow find a victory. It's all about inconsistency at Tottenham at the moment, isn't it? And we really need to find a way to put a string of results together. And this would be an amazing place to start that. Obviously, other games today. Chelsea won at Leicester. Arsenal won 3-0. Villa drew at home to Palace. They were losing for quite a long time. Brighton won at Bournemouth. And Wolves, pretty amazingly, won 4-1 at Fulham, which was a big surprise. But obviously, Chelsea winning, Arsenal winning, and Brighton winning, they're all above us. So that puts a little bit of extra pressure on Spurs. Let's go into the comments. Harry Singh says, please don't concede early, then we will have some hope. Come on, you Spurs. Tinker Hermanson says, come on, you Spurs. Craig Dearman says, have a good one, Barnaby. Really appreciate that, guys. Don't forget, please do subscribe to Chris's YouTube channel if you're not already. And also you can subscribe to my channel at Barnaby Slater _ for daily Tottenham Hotspur content. The players are out on the pitch. Rodri is picking up his Ballon d'Or before this game. Yet another thing for the City fans to get excited about. The Man City players have actually given him a guard of honor. I've never seen this happen before. I mean, that's because, let's face it, Spurs haven't won a Ballon d'Or as far as I'm aware. But who knows? Tinker Hermanson, thanks for commenting again, says, I think unfortunately we will lose, but I hope we will win. Absolutely. Steve Dyer says, Sonny and Kulu will score today. I hope you're right, Steve. Adam Harris says, deja vu, no Romero or Van der Ven against City away. Really thankful for the board giving Ange quality and backup. Well, that sounds like a little bit of sarcasm there, Adam. Listen, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because Ange has said that he got the players that he wanted. Just as, by the way, the Spurs fans are going over. The Spurs players are going over to the away fans, giving them a big round of applause before the game, trying to get them pumped up for it as well. This is something obviously that Sonny started. The huddle is around the away fans, and I'm here for it. I have to say, I'm really here for it. Craig Dearman says, have a good one, Barnaby. Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Keep on commenting, guys, and I will keep coming back to the comments. I'm probably on a little bit of a delay, though, from where you're watching, so I won't always be in the comments. But also, you can also send super chats in, and if you send a super chat, I will bring that up on screen as well. That is because I'm the master of technology. I'm the master of technology, even though I did a live stream for Chris on his channel yesterday and managed to have 10 minutes of completely dead air because I'm actually not the master of technology. Anyway, the game is about to kick off, everybody. Spurs kicking from right to left as we look at it at the Etihad. And we're off. Basuma on the ball. Man City starting to try and press Spurs pretty early on the ball. Ben Davies gives it to Basuma, and Basuma has lost the ball already from Man City's high press, and Foden is breaking down the right, and Basuma commits a foul. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'll tell you what, the referee has booked Basuma with the... I cannot believe the referee has made a rod for his own back there. Basuma has been booked after 15 seconds. Unbelievable. He gave the ball away under pressure. It's exactly what I was talking about before the game started. This is a massive game for Basuma, and he has to get it right. And so far, 15 seconds in, I'm afraid to say he's given away the ball, and then he's dived in, and he's got himself on a booking, his third booking of the season already. And yeah, I mean, would you be surprised with Rodrigo Bentancur out for 7 games for Basuma to get himself sent off? It wouldn't surprise me at all. The thing with Basuma, I really love him as a player, but he does the hard things incredibly well, but the easy things he struggles with. And more importantly, now with just a minute gone, Man City have a chance to get this in the box. Foden can in-swing if they want. Spurs keeping their high line on the 18-yard box. Man City don't usually love to swing balls into the box, but they've got 3 players at the back. It's Gundogan, hits it towards the back. And in the end, it's actually flicked off a Spurs defender's head and hits a Kanji and goes off for a goal kick. Actually pretty pleased. How many times have we gone to big games like this and conceded in the first minute? So I'm pretty pleased we haven't done that. And of course, straight away, we start playing our football, and Ben Davies tries to find Son Heung-min on the left-hand side, but hacks it out of play. And Man City look pumped for this. They're up for it. They're really trying to get themselves going early. And Sonny plays it well back to Ben Davies, who finds Vicario across his own box. And those of us who've been watching Spurs for a number of years will get scared, but Vicario went long that time. And Man City kick it off for a goal kick. I have to say, this has a high tempo feel about it. Sky just putting up a possession stats. Most possession in the Premier League this season. Man City top with 64%, Spurs second, 62%. Dominic Solanke got the ball from Vicario there, holds it up nicely, gives it to Porro, who lays it out wide. Nice stuff from Spurs through central midfield here. Porro turns back. And it comes across to Ben Davies, opens it out onto his left side, finds Destiny Udogie on the left-hand side. Kulusevski or Madders tried to dummy it so it would go through to Sonny, but it was pretty transparently cut out. And now Haaland's breaking through, and Basuma couldn't tackle him because he's already been booked there. And Foden finds it out wide. This is a really good chance. Gvardiol is out wide, chips it to the back post where always Haaland is free. And he heads it across the box, and Spurs manage to clear it, but not far enough. Another chance to get a cross in here. It's blocked well by Pedro Porro, and Kulusevski helps his man out. Tries to run it down the line, but kicks it out. For once, very rarely, the Etihad Stadium is kind of rocking. And Manchester City are high tempo. They want to answer their critics. They want to answer everyone who's been having a go at them for losing 4 games in a row. But Sonny presses them all the way back to Ederson, who I have to say, even though he plays for Man City, one of my favourite keepers. What a distributor of the ball he is. Sonny now trying to chase Gundogan. Very hard to pronounce. Is it Gundogan? Is it Gundogan? I think it's Gundogan, isn't it? Anyway, Man City find their way to the left flank and Gvardiol, who lays it down the line. Cuts inside. They're really up for this. Savinho just cutting inside there. And Kyle Walker is free on the right-hand side. He turns back. Never really want to put in a cross unless he's completely free, Kyle Walker. We'll remember that from his days at Spurs. 3 minutes gone. Man City with all the possession at the moment. A few little kind of half chances to get it in the box in that last minute, but nothing came of it. And now the game is settling down a little bit as it comes back to Stones. Sonny pushing him across. Stones finds Kyle Walker. Destiny Udogie tries to go to him. And Ben Davies has launched out of his centre-back. I'll tell you what, Man City are in here. 3-on-3 and Haaland's free at the back. It's going to be a goal. Haaland. Oh, he took a bad touch though. And he's hit it wide. Huge chance for Erling Haaland. But he hits it wide and Spurs were left 3-on-3. And it's actually a great block from Davis. I will be doing an instant match reaction to this game after on this channel. So you'll see me making some notes just so I can remember exactly what's going on. And it was Haaland's first touch that struggled. He was totally in. If he could have taken a better first touch, he was in the inside right channel and he would have scored. Bad touch and Ben Davies able to get back. Foden whips the corner in onto Vicario's head and he gets a fist on it, but he did not look comfortable. And Maddison tries to clear it, but Man City really piling the pressure on Spurs at the moment. Silva tries to get it across and Porro flicks it out. Spurs looking to try and hang on for this first 15 minutes, but it's not going to be easy. With Man City, it's a little bit like the Alamo, these first few minutes here. The fans behind them, they feel like they've got their backs to the wall, City, and they want to start there. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised, would you, if City, if they won today, if they got on a run. Maddison's just fouled Rico Lewis in central midfield, but the referees let him get on with it. You wouldn't be surprised if Man City went on a big run. The big worry about that last bit of play is, once again, I've been talking about this all season, Spurs do not defend their back post, and they've got to the byline again here. And Dragoshin clears it for a corner. They're looking sharp. Gary Neville saying it on the co-commentary. They are looking sharp. They're looking to get forward every single opportunity, Manchester City. And set-piece goals conceded in the last 2 seasons. Spurs second with 20 behind Nottingham Forest 25, but 2 this season so far. Gundogan is going to whip this an in-swinger again. And it's going to be onto Vicario's head, who had to clear the first one. It's cleared at the front post by Porro, and Maddison gets it further along. And Decky Kulusevski is chasing Kyle Walker, who tries to turn it away, deals with it well there, Kyle Walker. And it ends up going all the way back via Foden to Ederson. And the game can get a little bit of shape now as Ederson plays it into central midfield to Akanji, who beautifully finds Savinho, I think it is, who finds Rico Lewis, and City now on the right-hand side with runners. Cuts inside, Phil Foden. Udogie stays with him. Gets a little toe in, but not enough. Stays with Man City, who are now going to try the big diag across to Rico Lewis and finds it. And they've got 2 against 1 here with Kyle Walker going outside him. But Rico Lewis cuts inside. And Spurs have bodies there. Comes back to Stones and to Akanji and all the way across to the left. Man City really testing Spurs at the moment, trying to move our players from left to right and right to left. And again, it comes into the back stick, and Kyle Walker had made a late run to the back stick. It goes off for a goal kick. But like I was saying, and I've been saying all season, Tottenham just let the back stick be free. Destiny Udogie, incredibly narrow. It looked like Walker was a little bit offside as well. So even if he'd been able to get to that, probably wouldn't have come to anything. Anyway, Ben Davies gets the ball out to Sonny now. He's pressed by Rico Lewis, and he's fouled. Well done, Sonny. Holds that up nicely. Let's get into the comments quickly, see what you guys are saying. This is going to be a massacre, says Vic. Adam Harris, bench looks strong. I think you're being sarcastic. Laren Deb, good to see you, Deb. Good ball actually across from Spurs. And we've got a little bit of room here. Pape Matar finds Decky Kulusevski, who was offside, and he shouldn't be. And I think he wanted Pape Matar to get the ball out to him a little bit earlier there. And Pape just hesitated. And now Man City have the ball again. What do you guys think of James Maddison? Do you think he's the right player for this game? I think one of the problems that Ange has for him and with him, and one of the reasons he always takes him off early, actually, is he doesn't feel like he's got the fitness to be up and down the same way that Decky Kulusevski does. And it's going to be huge for Maddison in this game. And we're only 7 minutes in, but if he wants to have a big say in this game, he's going to have to use all of his fitness. And he obviously wasn't away for the international break, so he should have juice in the legs. And City just playing it through midfield. Now Madders trying to press Gundogan. Very easy for Akanji there to get away from Decky. And City are in down the left-hand side now. Pedro Porro goes out to meet Bernardo Silva, I think it is. Gundogan chips it through. Ben Davis gets an important header on it. And Pedro Porro comes away with the ball. Tries the long clearance up to Kulusevski, who gets fouled. But I think the ref's only given a throw-in, but it was definitely a foul. Kulusevski trying to kind of hold the ball up on the half-turn there. 8 minutes gone. Spurs have done well to ride the storm. Can we get to 15 minutes? That would be the time where I think the lull in the atmosphere would really help us if we can get to 15 minutes. Spurs just in the last minute or so looking a little calmer on the ball. That's all I'd say. Vicario now finds Dragusin on the right. Man City not pressing him as much as some opposition have when he's been playing on the left recently. So Dragusin, I think, just a bit more comfortable on the right. Ben Davis now finds Sonny again. There is a man down the line. And actually, it was Udogie, but I think he thought he was offside. Got a flick, and John Stones picks it up. But that is an option there. Get the ball out to Sonny, and a little flick round the corner to Udogie. Could find Udogie in with some space down the left-hand flank. Walker now on the right. Phil Foden. Good football, but good stuff from Basuma getting in the way. And a chance for Sonny now on the left-hand side. Breaking towards the box. Tries the cross. Goes all the way across the back. Kulusevski had made a late run. That's the kind of run, actually, that Brennan Johnson is elite at. And Kulusevski couldn't get a foot on it as Gvardiol brings it away as we get into the 10th minute of the game. Spurs playing their high line and Haaland trying to test it, making little runs in behind. But City not finding him as yet. As they play the ball along the back line, it gets to Kyle Walker. Udogie pressing him. Kyle Walker plays a good little ball there, but actually that's well tackled by Basuma. And I didn't think that was a foul. He's coming around the side of him. The ref's given a foul. And Big Ange Postecoglou on the sidelines and Ryan Mason are not ecstatic about that being given as a foul. And I have to say I'd agree with them. I would agree with them. 10 minutes gone. Man City 0, Tottenham 0. Man City have a free kick. John Stone's going to take it. You've got to assume someone's going to come short for him. He's looking for somebody. Rico Lewis gives him a little run. I think they're just getting a little breather here. And John Stones goes for the big diag in the end. And Kulusevski has to go out to try and get to Gvardiol. Finds it inside to Bernardo Silva. He's such a wonderful player. I remember when I first saw him at Wembley against Spurs for Monaco, and he absolutely ripped us a new one. And they're in down the left-hand side here. Dragusin raced out, and he didn't get there. Chance. Great save. Came to Haaland first time. Hit it first time, and it's a good effort. And Vicario makes a vital save. That all came from Dragusin rushing out, and he shouldn't have done to try and intercept. Savinho got in behind him, lays it into Haaland just on his left foot, where he wants it. He tries to place it into the bottom left-hand corner, and it's a great save from Vicario. As Spurs tried to quickly get Sonny in down the left-hand side there, but was called offside. City really looking dangerous, you have to say. Guys, please do press that like button if you haven't already. Let's get this watch-along seen by as many Spurs fans as possible. This is Chris Cowlin's first watch-along on his channel with me, Barnaby Slater. Make sure you subscribe to Chris's channel and mine. My channel is youtube.com/@BarnabySlater_ for daily Spurs content. And of course, Chris brings you so much amazing Spurs content, doesn't he? So make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Kyle Walker now down the right. Plays it into Foden, but Basuma does really well there. Wins it off Foden and finds Maddison. His first touch on the ball. Finds Pape Matar. Gets it stuck under his feet a little bit. Finds Basuma, and we go back to the centre halves. Dragusin finds Ben Davis. Good little body swerve from Ben Davis. Finds Udogie. Cuts inside. And it comes back to Davis, who finds Dragusin. Not many options for the drag there, so he goes over the top. And it's a good ball, actually, towards Kulusevski. I don't think he'll get there first. He does get there first. Does really well ahead of Gvardiol there. Decky with a chance to cross it. Can he find Madders? Goal! Tottenham Hotspur lead. James Maddison. 12th minute. Absolutely fantastic play from Decky Kulusevski. He got free on the right-hand side. Got his cross beautifully to a late run from James Maddison. And I spoke before this game, didn't I? Can Maddison silence the doubters? And he does. And it's all because of Kulusevski. Beautiful move from Spurs. Dragusin. Very rarely do we do this, but plays the ball over the top. Kulusevski does beautifully against Guardiola on the right, and then he's free and he cuts inside, and Maddison makes a beautiful Dele Alli-esque late run. The cross is over the top of Stones, and Madders just volleys it in with his left foot. 1-0 Tottenham. Great start. What a cross from Decky. That is why Decky Kulusevski is going to be on the list for the Premier League player of this season if he stays fit, because he is absolutely brilliant. He said in the week for Sweden, "I'm hungry, let me eat." Well, he is eating at the Etihad today. What a beautiful start, and Madders does his darts throw. Spurs 1-0 up at the Etihad. We don't necessarily deserve it. Man City have been great, but like I said at the beginning of the game, if we make chances, we have to be clinical to have any chance in this game, and we have done, and we've silenced the crowd. Great stuff from Tottenham Hotspur. And well played Radu Dragusin. He was under pressure. He didn't try and do something he couldn't do. He played it over the top. And Spurs need to learn to do that more, as Rico Lewis breaks Sonny's press there and finds it across to Bernardo Silva. What a great start for Tottenham Hotspur. And like I said, if we make chances, we've got to be clinical, and we have been. Haaland wasn't clinical with his chance, but James Maddison was. And it was a beautiful run. And in the end, he was only about 5 yards out when he got his left foot on the volley, and Edison, no chance whatsoever. Come on, you Spurs. Now, the big diagon again. Kyle Walker. Yeah, it's found Kyle Walker on the right-hand side. Udogie's with him, but he lays it back. Bissouma does well in the end with help from Udogie, and Sonny now on a little bit of a break, but plays a bad ball. But we get it back to Udogie. And Spurs have a few men forward here. Sonny is in on the left. Udogie should find him now. Find him now. Oh, no, he went for a paradise ball, Udogie. Oh, destiny. Should have just played it into Sonny, tried a paradise ball all the way across, I think, to towards Kulusevski and Solanke, and it was easily cut out in the end, and Sonny would have been in down the left, and that was a bit of a mistake there from Spurs, and City have it now in central midfield with Rico Lewis. What a game this has started. I mean, nothing that you wouldn't expect for Man City versus Spurs. You knew there were going to be goals. City down the left now. They found, I tell you what, they're into the box. Good chance for Spurs, for Man City. Sorry, Foden over the bar. Wow. It looked a bit easy for City there. It just breaks to Foden. Ben Davies does enough, I think, to put him off, because Foden has to toe poke it in the end. And it goes over the bar. And we've lost the ball in central midfield already. And Bernardo Silva breaking forward. Oh, but a terrible ball from him. And Sonny's picked it up and lays it back to Destiny Udogie. And a chance for Spurs to have a little bit of a breather as Udogie finds Maddison, who's coming to get the ball in that quarterback role now, which I never mind him doing. That shows he's confident. I love it when Madders has confidence. And that's something we were doing so well the first 10 games of last season. Madders coming to pick it up off his defenders. And now he gets it off Ben Davies. Cuts inside, finds a beautiful ball to Solanke, who holds it up well, but then falls over, but he's still got it. And finds Son out wide, who's now one-on-one against Kyle Walker. Shows him the line, Walker, and you would, wouldn't you? Because you know Walker's got the pace. Sonny trying to get it to Decky. Lovely cross from Son, but right, once again, it goes all the way through. Can Kulusevski do? Yeah, lovely shoulders from Decky with Savinho there, and he keeps the ball. Well done, Decky. Finds Porro, who finds Sarr, who finds Bissouma. Come across to Madders, one more. Will Madders fancy a shot? No, he finds Udogie, and this is coming across to Sonny on the left. It does. Udogie making an inside run to help him. Sonny finds Madders behind him. Good stuff from Spurs there. Just Spurs keeping the ball a little bit now. Udogie finds Son, who finds Madders. Good touch from Madders. Tottenham keeping the ball well. Comes in the midfield. Pape Matar, again, his first touch not outstanding, but it comes back to Dragusin, who can find Ben Davies. Can you open your body out and find Madders? He does. And nobody knows whether to come with Madders or not. Madders finds Sonny. He calls for the offside, but it's not offside, and it goes back to James Maddison. He's looking for an option, but in the end, he just goes with the easy one to Ben Davies. Give him another option here, Madders. And he does. Goes short for him. And yes, lovely ball into Solanke, who's coming into midfield as well. And Man City do not know whether to come with or not. As Sonny tries, I'll tell you what, Solanke's in here. Oh, Solanke was so nearly in. Oh, Solanke was nearly one-on-one there, but the Man City defender got a toe in. But Spurs now have it on the right-hand side with Porro. He's going to try and get a cross in. And he does. And Stones clears it well. And Man City, well done, Pape Matar wins an important header there. Oh, it wasn't Sarr, sorry, it was Bissouma. This is very quick, this game, and Bissouma does beautifully. Finds Udogie, and Spurs are playing the best stuff of the game as Udogie makes a run for him. Sonny's going to have a shot here, surely. Does. Goes for the back. Oh, what an effort from Sonny. Well saved from Edison. It was classic. Son Heung-min tries to find the top right-hand corner, and in the end, he has to pull out a worldie, Edison. It's from about 25 yards. Oh, what a game this is. It's a corner to Spurs. He managed to get 2 hands on it. I'll tell you what, if Son just gets a bit more air on that, that is 2-0 Tottenham. Great save and a great effort from Son. And Spurs are moving Man City about here. Man City do not know whether to go with Solanke. They don't know whether to go deep with Maddison. Tottenham causing them some trouble, and I'd say we need to be clinical if we make chances here. Corner coming up. Looks like it's Kulusevski going to bend it in. Here it comes. It's a deep one. And in the end, it goes all the way through for a goal kick. Lovely couple of minutes for Tottenham Hotspur. 18 minutes gone now. Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. The goal scored by James Maddison from a beautiful bit of play, starting with Radu Dragusin. Long ball over the top. Kulusevski outpaced and outmuscled Josko Gvardiol. Gets a beautiful cross into a late run from James Maddison. Darts. Beautiful. There was a moment a minute or so ago there where it really looked like Solanke might be... Oh, I'll tell you what, they've made a mistake under the pressure here. And Maddison, can he find Sonny? Sonny is one-on-one. He's got chance. Finds Maddison, chance! To the Spurs! James Maddison again! Oh my God, what is happening here? Absolutely beautiful football from Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Madders has got a brace. Madders! The ball came to Sonny after Man City were struggling under the pressure. Gvardiol made a mistake. It came to Maddison, who found Sonny, who cut inside and then gave it back to Madders on the inside left channel. He's one-on-one with Ederson and just dinks it over him. Amazing stuff. Is it too early? I've said we need to be clinical, and we've been absolutely clinical. But I'm telling you now, as a Spurs fan of over 30 years, we need 3. We need another one. Sonny cut inside. Everyone thinks he's going to shoot, but what a reverse ball to Maddison. And as Ederson comes out, just a little left foot dink. Who would have had money on 2 left-footed goals from James Maddison in the first 20 minutes of this game? Absolutely outstanding. And Son Heung-min, take a bow for that assist. Tottenham Hotspur, why do you do this to us? You can't beat Ipswich at home. You can't beat Crystal Palace away, but you're 2-0 up at the Etihad Stadium after 20 minutes. And City are rocking. Beautiful from Madders. I said it at the beginning of the game. Will he silence some of his critics? My God, is he silencing them? Well done, James Maddison. Form is temporary. Class is permanent. But now, Tottenham Hotspur, concentrate. Yves Bissouma, don't get sent off. Don't get a second booking. And I would say we need a third. Anyway, the game's back on. Phil Foden in midfield finds Gundogan. Oh, and he plays a ball. It was Savinho, actually, not Gundogan. And Sonny now trying to clear it up. And Tottenham trying to play out, but it's a throw-in. Manchester City's fans now trying to get behind them because I'll tell you what, I haven't done the scoreboard. I need to do the scoreboard. Sorry, guys, it's all been totally mental. I haven't been able to do the scoreboard. Let me find it. There we go. Scoreboard. Sorted. Oh, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm a technical loser. Didn't remember to do the scoreboard, but who cares? Frankly, who cares? Manchester City 0, Tottenham 2. Erling Haaland now in a dangerous position. Finds Savinho. Is he going to have a shot? No, he finds it. Josko Gvardiol gets it back to Haaland just over the bar. And they're not being as clinical as Spurs. Exactly the same chance as earlier. But this time, he doesn't get it on target. Vicario doesn't have to make a save. But that is where Man City are causing us all sorts. Finding Gvardiol out wide left, cuts it back to Haaland. Solanke trying to hold it up, but he loses it. And Solanke's foul. That's an important foul. Well done, Dominic Solanke. It enables Spurs to get the ball back and take a little breather. It was good play from City. Found Gvardiol in down the left. Cuts it back to Haaland. It was going pretty much right over Vicario. So you like to think if it was under the bar, he would have tipped it over. And now Spurs have the ball. Vicario finds Dragusin, who finds Decky. Holds it up and gets it back to Dragusin, moving City around a little bit. And Dragusin trying to be a bit clever there. Wins a foul off Haaland, who's starting to look very, very displeased. Am I right? Let me know in the comments. Am I right in thinking that we were 2-0 up against City when Emerson Royal scored a goal and we ended up losing 4-2? Oh, what a terrible ball from Pedro Porro. And Spurs have got lucky there. Pat Matassar has done brilliantly in central midfield. Well done, Pape. And now Destiny is on the left-hand side with Sonny outside him. We had a free kick there, and Pedro Porro tried a ridiculous paradise ball, overconfident, and we just kicked it straight to City in central midfield. And thank goodness, Pape Matassar absolutely saved us, and that's why he's in the team. He gives us engine, he gives us legs, and he can break up some of that play well. Oof, that was important. 23 minutes gone. And now Destiny Udogie down the midfield, and Gary Neville saying how well Spurs are playing. Son Heung-min now racing towards the box at Kyle Walker, who's letting him get there. He gets to the front. Oh, and it's a corner. Kyle Walker is showing Son Heung-min the line every time, and Sonny's just like, yeah, all right, I'll do my step over. I'll take it to the line. I'll get my left foot across. And if we keep getting chances like that, we will score one. He could have cut that back to Kulusevski, actually, and we might have had a good chance on the corner of the 6-yard box. Another corner to Spurs. Come on, we don't score many goals from set pieces, but what a time now would be to do it. I'm telling you, I've watched Spurs enough for many years, and we need a third. Big time. Matters with the in-swinger. Goes deep again, and Ederson easily comes with a clearance punch. It comes out to Porro. He's got Kulusevski outside him. I would give it to him, and he does. Kulusevski now. Might want to break and try and get a cross in here, and he does. It's just flicked up, and Haaland clears it in his own box, and Man City find their way out of it. But Ben Davies tries to find Porro on the right with a header, but he doesn't. Basuma tries to get it down. Beautiful from Basuma, and a good pass out wide. Well done, Basuma. Good stuff. Porro, beautiful ball in Slanky. Holds it up well. Tries to get Kulusevski through with a little back heel. Doesn't quite come off, but the confidence is flowing through Tottenham Hotspur's veins here. Manchester City have the ball back. 25 minutes gone now. Manchester City 0. Tottenham Hotspur 2. Wow, what a game so far. What a game so far. Kyle Walker out on the right here. Solanke just pressing Gundogan in central midfield there, trying to find a weakness, but it doesn't happen, and it comes out wide now to Gvardiol, who's always free down the left-hand side and always has Savinho in front of him, and Dragusin has to kind of follow Savinho out there, but it comes back inside with Bernardo Silva to Gundogan, and they're back in central midfield now, Man City. Comes to Kyle Walker on the right-hand side. Foden's made a good run for him. Haaland's made a good run for him here, but he can't get a touch on it, and in the end, it's Porro who has to clear. Vicario wanted to come for it. It didn't work in the end. Solanke, we're just trying to win it in central midfield there, but Pape Matassar made a bit of a run ahead of the ball here, and he's got to work harder to get back behind the ball here, Sarr. He's looking a bit leggy, and he needs to get back behind the ball. Gvardiol into the box for Foden, who has a shot, and it goes wide. It was a bit speculative, if I'm honest, but another shot from City. Just a little disappointed just for a second there with Pape Matassar, who's having a good game. He made an unnecessary run ahead of the ball and then didn't work hard enough to get back. Anyway, Vicario now to Maddison. Oh, tell you what, Maddison is in a dangerous place here. He's taken the ball as the quarterback and he's being pressed high, and it comes to Ben Davies, who finds Sonny down the line, and Man City putting the pressure on Spurs big time here. The press, sorry. Flicks it out from Maddison. Ben Davies gets a bit lucky, and we're out of that press. And now Udogie, beautiful. And we got loads of space with Porro on the right-hand side now. And Spurs have 5 running forward. Finds Kulusevski. It's 5-on-5 here. Can Kulusevski make the right decision? He's fronting up Gvardiol. Running into the box. Goes to the byline. Cuts it back. Oh, nearly comes to Sonny. But in the end, good defending from Kyle Walker. Woo! Blimey. Spurs. Decky did brilliantly to get to the byline there on his right foot. Sarr had made a run. Porro was there. Solanke was there. And Sonny just for the cutback. But Walker in the end did well. And Ange on the sidelines disappointed about that. Got the ball again with Udogie. Finds Son. Goes back to Udogie. 27 minutes gone. Davis. Back to Vicario. Finds Bissouma. Gives it back to Vicario, who I just want him to go easy to Davis here. And he does. Finally, Maddison's on the right-hand side. Can Davis find him? And he does with a beautiful ball. Maddison's in a great shape now. Finds Sonny inside. He wanted to find Solanke there, but I'll tell you what, Porro's free on the outside. Can he find the ball? Finds Solanke inside. Chance! Oh, just over the bar from Solanke. Oh! A brilliant break from Spurs. And Solanke, does Ederson get a tip on it in the end? Is it going to be a corner? Solanke did well, held it up. Yeah, it does get tipped over the bar. Does the referee realize that? Looks like it's going to be a corner. Beautiful breaking of the press from Spurs under pressure. Could have done with that going in. It was a tough chance in the end. Anyway, Spurs take the corner short this time to Porro, changing the angle. But it goes back to Kulusevski. Fronted up by Savinho. He's going to try and get a little dugout cross in. Oh, Sarr tries to flick it, but it doesn't work. And it comes now to Udogie, who finds Porro again. Spurs doing well in these little spaces here. Sarr finds Porro again, comes back inside. And Sonny is going to be free on the left. And Udogie finds him. But he's on his own, Son, so he's going to have to come back narrow. And he does. To Udogie. To Bissouma, who started this game well as well. Bissouma finds Madders under a lot of pressure, but he holds it and gives it back to Udogie. Udogie finds Son, who is on his own out wide now, fronting up. I think it's Gvardiol. Have they switched Gvardiol and Walker for a second there? Interesting. Sarr now on the inside. Finds Bissouma, who finds Udogie. It comes all the way across, but a terrible ball from Udogie. And now it's 3-on-2, Man City. Haaland's going to be in here if they find the right ball. And Haaland couldn't get it under control. It was a bad ball just behind Haaland. That was a huge chance for City. Spurs are lucky there. And it all came from bad pass in central midfield. Solanke holds it up beautifully from a ball from Ben Davis, but then is pushed off the ball from Rico Lewis. And I'll tell you what, that didn't look like a foul, but I'm very, very ecstatic that the referee did give a foul. I know that 44 of you have commented, guys. Keep those comments coming in. I will be going through comments and questions in half time. I'm just on a little bit of delay, so I'm not going on the comments quite yet because I don't want to see what's happening before it happens. Man City now breaking forward, and they find Gvardiol again out wide left, who's their biggest danger man. It's a good cross, and it's got to be offside. It was offside. So Gvardiol plays a ball in, and it's headed goal bound by Savinho, and Vicario makes an unbelievable one-handed save, but it was offside. Yeah. What a game. What a game so far. Vicario finds Bissouma, who finds Dragusin, who chips it out wide to Porro, gets it down. Can he find Kulusevski? He does. He goes for the dummy to try and get around his defender, but he can't. It goes back to Ederson, and Solanke puts the press on. Man City quite easily breaking through Spurs' press into central midfield now, and Spurs' line is high, and Gundogan has just run half the length of the pitch very easily, and Foden's in at the back. There are two men in at the back stick here, Foden and Walker. Man City on the left, though, they come back and they can't find them now, and Spurs get their bodies back. 31 minutes gone as City comes central again to Rico Lewis, and Kyle Walker has got all the time in the world on the right-hand side. Udogie comes across to him. It comes back inside to John Stones. Don't forget, guys, do press like on this video. Give us a like. Let's get this seen by as many Spurs fans as we can. Chris Cowlin's first watch-along with me, Barnaby Slater. Really enjoying this game so far as it comes to Gvardiol on the left-hand side. Kulusevski's there helping out Pedro Porro. It comes back now. Gvardiol dinks it into the middle, and here's Kyle Walker free at the back stick as we never defend the back stick. He cuts it back to Lewis on the edge of the box, and it comes to Walker again on the right. He's going to get a cross in. No, he doesn't. Udogie is now at least in front of him. I want us to stop the cross at source here. No, that's not a foul. Oh, and I'll tell you what. Udogie has fouled Kyle Walker in the end. The first one wasn't a foul. The ref didn't give it because it wasn't. But Kyle Walker looks annoyed. The second one was, I think, given as a foul. Yeah, and Man City, they're just outside the box on the right-hand side. Will have a free chance to get a cross in the box here. Dangerous area. Bit unnecessary from Destiny Udogie there. He's had a good start to this game, but he was snapping at Walker's heels. There really wasn't any need for him to do so. There was no danger there. Walker wasn't going to get the cross in, but now there's a free cross for City. Foden's on it. One-man wall, just Sonny trying to block the near post. And then all the men in the 6-yard box. Haaland looks pretty dangerous. Dragusin somewhere near him. Foden's going to whip this in now. And he does so at pace. And it comes all the way to the back post. And Savinho cannot get it under control. And it goes off for a goal kick. Guys, let me know what you think of my Spurs away shirt. I think it's from like 1994. Absolutely glorious, isn't it? And what a time. Anyway, Spurs have got this out quickly. And Ben Davis tries to go long. Solanke trying to press Stones, who turns him easily. Good work from Stones. And he finds Gundogan in central midfield, who has to go back to Akanji. Comes out wide now. Bernardo Silva's taking up some interesting positions in this game. Spurs press City, so it has to go back to Ederson. And the squeeze is on. Solanke just working on getting back into position. And City playing it across. It's going to come to Kyle Walker on the right-hand side from John Stones here, I would have thought. John Stones. Kulusevski now putting some pressure on Bernardo Silva, who's in a very interesting position at the back, getting the ball there. And he plays a lofted ball across his back line to Akanji. And now they're getting into towards the left-hand side where they've caused us the most amount of damage in this game. Finds Gvardiol on the touchline. Goes back to Akanji again. Will they try the big diag? They haven't this time. Comes across. Bernardo Silva's doing the Maddison in the quarterback role at the moment. And he finds Kyle Walker. And Rico Lewis has made a good run for him down the line. But Ben Davies follows him and it comes back to the centre circle. Good stuff from Spurs here. Just Man City moving side to side. But it does come towards Gvardiol this time. And he plays a good ball inside to Savinho. And now they're on the edge of our box. Savinho just turning out. Porro showing him back to Gvardiol. That's well played from Porro. It comes out to Savinho again. And Gvardiol makes a secondary run. And now Savinho's running into the box. Porro's just got to be careful there. Comes back outside and it comes to Silva now. And it's bringing its way across to the right-hand side. And Destiny Udogie comes out to Kyle Walker, who's going to come back to Rico Lewis. This is what Man City do so well, isn't it? Just playing the ball right to left to right. Spurs have bodies in the way, though. Foden tries to find a good pass, and Madders does well. And Udogie plays a great ball down the line to Kulusevski. He's totally on his own. He's got to find a way to hold this up, and he doesn't. It's a throw into Man City. And Kulusevski was just playing silly buggers a little bit there, trying to delay the taking of the free kick. And I think it was Silva kind of kicked him a little bit, fouled him, but Man City have the ball because it was already their foul. And Silva finds Walker on the right-hand side. Yeah, Gary Neville on CoCom's talking a lot about how much Man City are recycling it right to left. And Spurs win it back off Savinho there, but Pape Matar maybe should have turned earlier. He's done all right, though. And finds a good ball down the line to Solanke. Needs help here, Dominic. And it's a throw-in. I was unlucky. It bounced off Solanke for a throw-in to Man City. The fans, just in this last 10 minutes of the first half, trying to get behind Man City as Solanke presses. Bernardo Silva gives away a foul in central midfield, and Silva gets back on it again and finds Gvardiol easily down the left-hand side. This is where they've caused us the most amount of trouble so far in this game, but it comes back across, as it always does with City. Madders breaking out of his position there to try and put pressure on. Kind of unnecessary. Man City now have it. Play a good ball into her. Lovely play outside the box. Chance on the edge of the box. Good save. It was a good hit from Savinho, but easily caught down to his right from Vic. And while they were showing the replay, I think maybe Man City have given away a foul in central midfield, I think. Let me just double check for you. Get in the comments, guys. Ask questions in the comments of me, and I will get to them at halftime. Any comments about Spurs, our season so far, anything you want. Anyway, Ben Davies now coming down the line and tries to play a dink ball towards Solanke. Doesn't quite find him. And Man City get it back to Ederson. City then have the ball once again. Their possession stats will undoubtedly be high. There's no doubt about that. But Spurs have the 2 goals. Kyle Walker forced by Destiny Udogie to go back to Stones. 37 minutes gone. And now Stones looking for the big diag. Yeah, they're looking for the big one over the top. Oh, no. Oh, what a huge risk that was. And in the end, I'm going to need to see the replay of this, but the ball is tried to go over the top. I think it's Porro who comes with him, and he tries to head it back to Vicario. Doesn't get enough on it. And in the end, the ball bounces. Stones plays it over the top. Porro tries an Eric Dyer-esque head back to Vicario. And in the end, right on the edge of his box, Vicario gets it because Savinho, who could have been braver realistically, he ends up fouling Vicario, but Spurs very lucky there. And Pedro Porro, who of course did used to play for Manchester City, never started a first-team game as far as I'm aware, but that was a little bit of overconfidence and complacency from Spurs there. And that could have been a huge mistake that let Man City back into the game. We got away with it. Ben Davies now. Again, finds Sonny on the right. Tries to dink it. It's a lovely ball from Son into Solanke. But I'll tell you what, Stones did really well to get ahead of Solanke there. Pat Matasar does beautifully in central midfield to win it. And he's fouled. Important. Well done. Great leg work from Pape Matasar in central midfield. Really huge work from Pape there. Not for the first time in this game. Huge, strong physical play from Pape Matasar in central midfield. Spurs find Son again. That ball from Davis to Son that he then flicks around the corner is causing Man City quite a lot of trouble for runs from Udogie, Solanke and the like. Vicario plays it to Bissouma, gives Vicario just the worst ball back. And now Spurs under a lot of pressure here. Trying to play it out. In the end, they win an important throw-in. But Bissouma, like I said, he does the easy things badly. All he has to do is give an easy ball back to Vicario there. I'll tell you what, this is a big worry. Vicario has gone down here, clutching his ankle from that foul from Savinho. Now, after the last game against Ipswich and after that Crystal Palace game, Big Ange Postecoglou talked about how other teams are smarter than us. Well, he didn't say smarter than us. I would call it smarter than us in terms of going down, getting breathers, getting messages onto the pitch. And I'm hoping that Vicario is doing something similar there. Just knowing that there's 5 minutes or so until half time. Go down a little bit, take a few minutes and let the players get a bit of water and get back into their shape and make it difficult for Man City again, because these 5 minutes before half time are going to be massive. If we can keep Man City out, and that's what's happening here. All the team are getting their fluids in on the touchline. And I'm hoping that that was clever from Vicario and good leadership, which, frankly, we've all been questioning a little bit, haven't we? Tottenham's leadership, Tottenham's ability to be professional and to take their time and go down if needed. They're just showing Brennan Johnson on the subs bench. He will be a very important substitute in this game. You can bet your bottom dollar about that. Don't forget, guys, if you're not already, do subscribe to Chris Cowlin's YouTube channel. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily Tottenham Hotspur content and transfer news from all around the Premier League as we get towards that transfer window opening in January. At Barnaby Slater _ on YouTube for that. It's just a bit of a break in play now while Guillermo Vicario is getting some treatment. I'm hoping he's making a little bit too much of that. He does look sore. It's an ankle injury caused by Savinho. Let's have a look. They're just showing the replay again. Stones chipped it over. Porro madly tried to head it back. Vicario, luckily on the bounce, kind of gets it and maybe just gets a little bit of studs into his ankle from Savinho. Anyway, it's a throw into Spurs on the left-hand side. Udogie with it. Throws it down the line to Solanke. Can't hold it up. And Ben Davies now can hack it down the line, and he does. And I think that was the right decision, frankly. And Man City are going to play it all the way, into central midfield now with Silva. Good press from Sarr. He does beautifully. Pape Matasar and gets it to Kulusevski here. Really good press from... Oh, and he finds Sarr finds Kulusevski again. Outside the box. Oh, and Bissouma had a shot over the bar. Good stuff from Spurs. Good press. Great press from Sarr. Won the ball back in midfield. And City. Good press again from Sarr, trying to press Ederson. But it's a good turn from Foden in midfield. I'll tell you what. Huge tackle from... I'll tell you what. Dragusin's just put a huge tackle that's gone all the way forward for Spurs. Sonny could be in here. Sonny is in here. Chance. No, he cut inside and he shouldn't have done. Sonny needed to hit that first time. Real chance in the inside left channel. He took a touch too many, and now City are breaking forward. Maddison can't get onto Savinho. He has a shot here, and maybe he shouldn't have done. It's blocked, but it breaks to Foden. And he now finds Bernardo Silva on the left-hand side. Big chance for City here. Lays it back to Guardiola. Tries to cut it back. Good block from Spurs. Sonny needs to be strong, and is. Flicks it off. City still on the way forward with Guardiola. He's going to play it outside to Silva. He gets a first-time cross in towards the back stick, and Haaland's free. Cuts it back. Good climb in central mid. Good climb there from Davis. And a clearance just finds Walker. Spurs under pressure here. Comes now to Stones. Spurs have bodies back, but Man City really putting some pressure on. Finds again Guardiola. Silva now in on the left. Kulusevski working hard. Another good cross. Chance! Overhead kick from Phil Foden over the bar. It was a difficult one, but you'd fancy him to score it. Important few minutes for Spurs here. All the trouble is coming for Spurs on the left-hand side from cutbacks from Guardiola to either Haaland or that time to Phil Foden, sorry. Lovely stuff from Sonny, and Destiny Udogie is driving forward now. It's 3-on-3 for Spurs if Udogie can find a good ball. And he finds Sonny, and that is good, but it's a bit behind him. And it's slowed down now, and City have bodies back. And Sonny plays a bad pass. But we recycle possession. But Udogie's lost it. Man City have won it back now. 44th minute. The fans getting behind City as they try and break through. Dragoshin now with a chance, one-on-one against... Oh, he's getting outpaced on the... Oh, good defending from Dragoshin. It's a corner to City. And once again, Gary Neville gets on his narrative about the goalkeeper, Vicario, being bad at corners. Man City have their corner. It's probably their 5th or 6th corner of the game. They will in-swing it onto Vicario's head again. He's dealt with them pretty well so far. Got an important punch on an early one. But Gary Neville is desperate for this to be a goal. Here comes the in-swinger from Gundogan. John Stones making a move to try and block Vicario. Happens every time. Goes to the front stick and it's headed over the bar from Akanji. And the Man City fans have just gone a little bit quiet as we enter the last kind of added time. They'll probably find 3 minutes, I would have thought, of this half. It's a huge 3 minutes for Spurs. Vicario has the ball now. Finds Ben Davis. He's going to need an option down the line. And he has one from Son. He's pressed from Walker, but Son holds it up well. Finds Madders. He's going to have to find Vicario and does. Man City have won 37 points from losing positions in the last 2 seasons. So that shows that it's not going to be easy. Spurs try and break the press now with Deck. He's got to give it, and he does give it to Maddison. And can Madders find Udogie? He does, and Spurs have space now down the left. Udogie finds Sonny. He's one-on-one with Walker as they head towards the box. Lots of Spurs players forward. Sonny finds Decky Kulusevski, who's made a run for him. It comes back to Son. A chance for a shot here maybe for Son. Doesn't quite get it out of his feet right. Finds Maddison. Man City now have men back. Madders finds Kulusevski. Not the best ball. Kulusevski forced to turn, and he's fronted by 2 players. Can he win a corner here? He doesn't. He gets a throw in. 3 minutes added time. We're into the 46th minute. Don't forget, guys, I will be going through the comments during halftime. I'll also be going through some of the highlights of what has happened in that first half and discussing it. What a first half it's been. Now, can Spurs see it out? Udogie with the throw-in. Madders trying to make a run for him. Nobody else really moving. Solanke gives him an option. Holds it on his chest well. He had to be careful there, Dominic. Madders doing well. And he's fouled there, Maddison. Oh, but it's not given. And he's fouled twice. Madders did beautifully there. Very smart play from Madders to win a foul on the touchline. And Kyle Walker has thrown the ball away. He is angry. I don't think the ref's seen that because that could have been a booking. Madders did do some really good stuff. Actually, with basically 1.5 minutes left of added time before half time, great opportunity for Spurs to whip a ball into the box. And my God, if we could get a third here, it would be an unbelievable moment in time. Manchester City 0, Tottenham 2. Into the 47th minute, 1 minute of added time to go. Son and Maddison over the ball, and they take it short. I'm not sure about that. Madders now driving towards the box. Finds Son again. I'm not sure this was the best move from Spurs, but they are keeping the ball. And it's come back to Udogie. And we go all the way back to Vicario. And if we weren't 2-0 up, Spurs fans would be absolutely livid about that. And now Vicario plays a ball to Porro. And Spurs have put themselves in some really dodgy areas here, but he chips it over the top here. It's offside. Man City held their high line. Kulusevski was trying to break in behind. 30 seconds to go of this half. Will there be a chance for Man City before this half is out? Let's see. It comes across to John Stones, who finds Akanji. As ever, Dominic Solanke working hard. But it comes out to this left-hand side where all the danger has come from Man City. I've said it so many times. It's Bernardo Silva on the ball this time. Cuts inside. Finds Gundogan, who goes the other way and finds Silva well. And it's chipped into the box here. Can Udogie clear it? He does. And Son. But Son heads it back inadvertently. But he gets it back here, Son. Oh, and he tries to get it down the line. And now there's a dangerous break here. Chance for a cross. Savinho, he cuts back, gives Spurs a chance. It's a good cross. Keeper, well done. That should be half-time. And it is half-time. Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought it? 2 goals from James Maddison, who I said before this game, can he answer some critics? Absolutely brilliant half from Tottenham Hotspur. Man City have had all of the possession, but Spurs have been clinical on the break. Man City have had chances. Vicario's made important saves. But you have to say, Tottenham Hotspur, from the way they're set up, the pragmatic style, hitting them on the break, and when they break, getting bodies forward, Tottenham are fully deserving of this 2-0 lead so far. And I'm very impressed with Tottenham that in the last 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes of that half, when the pressure was on, they didn't wilt. They kept playing exactly the way they were playing, and they even made some little half chances themselves. Fantastic stuff. So let's go through what happened in that first half. After just 15 seconds, Yves Bissouma, who before this game I talked about, I said it's important. Yves Bissouma is going to have to be brave on the ball. He's going to have to take the ball on the half turn. He's going to have to do the easy things well. Well, after 15 seconds of the game, he gives the ball away to Man City. They're running at our back line, and he has to take out Foden, I think it was. A booking, a yellow card. And I have to say, since then, other than one dodgy pass back he gave Vicario, Yves Bissouma has been absolutely outstanding. But to get himself booked after 15 seconds, arguably the most Yves Bissouma thing that Yves Bissouma could do. And he's on a tightrope now, and he's going to have to be careful in the second half. But he has played well. Then after 4 minutes, a huge chance for Erling Haaland. And he was actually through on goal. And if he could have taken his first touch well, he was on the inside right channel, he would undoubtedly have scored easily. But his first touch was bad, brings it onto his left foot. And Ben Davies, who's had a great half, manages to get his body in the way, and it goes off for a corner. And after 5 minutes, City had already had 2 or 3 corners and were putting pressure on Spurs. It was kind of like the Alamo. The fans were up for it. Don't forget, Man City have lost 4 games on the spin. Never happened to Pep Guardiola before. Absolutely unheard of in his career. So the fans were up for it. He signed a new deal. They got Rodri out on the pitch before the game to show his Ballon d'Or off. They gave him a line of honor, guard of honor. And Man City were hitting us hard with high tempo at the start. And then the 10th minute, Vicario made a brilliant save with his feet from Erling Haaland. And all of the trouble that Spurs have been under in this first half has come down the left-hand side. There are 3 of them, Savinho, Gvardiol, and Bernardo Silva, all playing the balls in and out to each other on the left-hand side, continuously getting to the byline and then cutting the ball back. And in the 10th minute, Silvinho found Haaland with a cutback on the kind of about 8 yards out. And he hits it first time towards the bottom right-hand corner. Great save from Vicario with his feet. Absolutely vital save, because 12th minute, just 2 minutes later, James Maddison puts Tottenham Hotspur 1-0 ahead. Radu Dragusin was put under a little bit of pressure with the ball at his feet. And I've been the first to say, haven't I? He's not the most comfortable with the ball at his feet. So what I loved about what Dragusin did this time was he just put the ball over the top of Manchester City's right back. He put it over the top, and Decky Kulusevski, as he does, absolute workhorse, absolute engine, chased it and out-muscled, I think it was Gvardiol, got there first, and then he's making that kind of classic Decky Kulusevski run towards the edge of the box and dinks just the most beautiful cross, excuse me. And James Maddison, and I described it like this at the time, but I would best describe it as like for anyone old, a David Platt-esque late run into the box. For anyone kind of middle-aged, or a bit younger, a Frank Lampard-esque late run into the box. And for anyone who's loved watching Spurs over the last 10 years, a Dele Alli-esque late run into the box. The cross from Kulusevski on his left foot, absolutely perfectly weighted, and Madders just running onto it, left foot volley, bang, 1-0, does the dart celebration. And Tottenham fully deserving it for riding out the difficult, pressured first 10 minutes or so, and then hitting Man City on the break and being clinical. Then in the 15th minute, Phil Foden had a good chance over the bar. It was actually good pressure in the end as the ball came to Foden. Ben Davies got enough in the way of Foden's eye line, so Foden had to kind of toe poke it in the end, and it goes over the bar. Then in the 17th minute, an absolutely unbelievable save from Ederson, one of my favorite goalkeepers. Sonny found room on the left-hand side in the inside left channel where Sonny loves it, opens his body out. He's a long way out, though, maybe like 27, 28 yards, and tries to do that exact goal that he scored so many times, the one that he scored in the London derby during COVID against Arsenal at home, where he belts it into the top left-hand corner with curl. And unfortunately, it was just not quite high enough. And Ederson got two hands on it, tips it away for a corner. Great save, but great effort from Son. And then the 19th minute, Maddison makes it 2-0. Sonny again found some space in the inside left channel. This time, he runs narrow, takes a few defenders out, and then plays what I have to describe as a Harry Kane-esque reversed ball into James Maddison. And as Ederson comes out with his arms flailing, Maddison, composure, under pressure, dinks it over the top of Ederson, one of the world's best goalkeepers. 2-0, more darts from Maddison, and Tottenham Hotspur's away fans, absolute limbs in dreamland. And that was just the 19th minute. Then Haaland had another chance for himself over the bar, another first-time cutback from another first-time shot from a cutback from Guardiola. That's in the 21st minute. One player I want to talk about a lot, Pape Matar covering the ground in central midfield, and just I can think of 3 times, one in the 23rd minute, where in the central midfield where we've been under pressure and maybe we've lost the ball in transition, Sarr using his engine, just getting his body in the way, getting his foot in the way and breaking up that play. 26th minute, Foden with a bit of a speculative shot wide. Then in the 27th minute, another chance. Solanke this time just over the bar. Tottenham broke the press beautifully. It comes to Solanke. And in the end, actually, one of the Man City players got his body slightly in the way, so Solanke had to kind of hit it a bit harder than he'd like and hits it over the ball. 29th minute, Haaland, for the second time, should have been one-on-one against the keeper, but a bad ball from whoever had it in central midfield for Man City behind him, and Haaland basically gave up the chase. Then in the 30th minute, a chip over the ball of our high line, and I think it was Savinho with a great header. Looks like it's going in the far corner, but a beautiful one-handed save from Vicario. However, Savinho was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Then another save in the 36th minute from Vic down to his right from Savinho. Just a shot from outside the box, and Vic gets down and holds it well. Tottenham then lucky, 37th minute, one of the luckiest moments we had in that first half. Man City again tried to play the ball over the top. They're trying different things. They're trying to break us. And Pedro Porro went with the runner, Savinho, but he tries where he should have tried to clear it. He tries to head it back to Vicario, doesn't get enough on it. And in the end, it bounces just around the 18-yard line. Vicario is basically right next to Savinho. Unfortunately, Savinho can't get a toe on it to lob it over Vicario's head. And Vicario grabs it. We're very fortunate. And he got a little bit of an injury there, Vicario, on his ankle. So hopefully he'll be absolutely fine for the second half. Some more great work in the 38th minute from Pape in central midfield. And then in the 41st minute, Basuma got a chance from just outside of the bar, just outside of the box, shoots it over the bar, and that was after some more beautiful pressing from Pape Matar in midfield. Sonny then had another huge chance in the inside left channel. If he just hit it first time as the ball came to him, maybe left-footed across the keeper, we could have been 3-0 up. But he tried to take a touch narrow to go inside to try and hit it into the far corner as well again. And City had bodies in the way. And like I said, just the last 5 minutes or so was City pressure. An overhead kick from Foden went over the bar. Good defending from Dragusin to get it out for a corner in the 43rd minute. And then a Kanji with a chance over the bar in the 44th minute. What a half it's been, guys. I'm going to go into the comments now. Let's talk to some of you in the comments. John Doe says, regardless of what you think, Spurs under Ange is very entertaining. Listen, that is so true. That is the reality of this. We wanted entertaining football. We wanted it after Conte. We wanted it after Jose Mourinho, and we have it. And they're beautiful to watch. And I think, listen, no matter what happens in this game, and we know, as Tinker Hermansen says in the comments, she's saying, what a game, completely agree. We know anything could happen in this second half. We've seen it so many times with Spurs. Concede early, and I'd really fear for us. But we have played beautifully in that first half, and it shows what we're capable of. And we're still waiting for consistency from this side. We're still waiting for this side to fully click. And I think Ange made a mistake against Ipswich, and that mistake was not playing the 10s, not playing Maddison and Kulusevski together. And I don't think he'll do that again against a team who are going to play lots of bodies behind the line. Vito Danu says, Chris Cowlin and Barnaby collab. Nice. Thanks, guys. Yeah, my name is Barnaby Slater. I'm going to be hosting watch-alongs for Chris. Really enjoying it, guys. Make sure you follow my YouTube channel as well as Chris's. Give me a subscribe at Barnaby Slater _ on YouTube for daily Tottenham content. Peter, what a game. Come on, Spurs. Laren Deb rightly says it's not over yet. Laren Deb, you know. Sarah Langsom says, Basuma wasn't the man who gave the ball away, to be clear. Okay, fair enough. If I got that wrong, apologies. The Gov says, why no yellow to Savinho? Consecutive fouls, yet straight yellow, one tackle from Basuma. Yeah, I have to say, looking back on the replay of that tackle from Basuma, I think it was a yellow card. I was just surprised he gave a yellow card because it was the first play of the game, but he did stop a definite chance. Milan Kritchi says, respect from Istanbul, bro. I've been following you since your Galatasaray match video. Thanks a lot, mate. Really appreciate it. David Connor says, Ange Postecoglou. We're loving it at the moment. Let me know in the comments, though, guys. How are you feeling? Like, as a Spurs fan of over 30 years, I've got the fear of God that we're going to concede early and you know what's going to happen. But look, who cares? Let's see what happens. Matty 8 says, YouTube commercials mean we lose the sync /YouTube/TV every now and then. I apologize for that. Technology, what can you do? Billy Four Eyes says, well worth getting up at 4:30 a.m. for this. Billy, where are you? Let me know where you are. Are you in Australia? Are you a big Ange Postecoglou fan? Deb says, I have a love-hate relationship with Ange. I'm shallow. I don't have a love-hate relationship with Ange. I love Ange. He's the right man. I think we have to be patient with him. But he's always said, hasn't he? There are going to be ups and downs. It's going to be difficult at times, and we are experiencing that. But my God, not many teams go to Man City and do what we're doing here. It's very, very impressive from Tottenham Hotspur. Roger Fordham says, Manchester City cannot defend, and I'm alone about us. Don't really know what that last bit about alone means. But guys, thank you so much for all your comments. Keep getting them in at halftime. Aussie 1976 says, we definitely need a third. Well, true that. But, you know, look, anything could happen. What a brilliant first half. Billy Four Eyes, you're from Tasmania, outstanding. And Sanidad 27 is from Brisbane. Good to see you over there in Australia. We're loving Big Ange. Don't worry. Even when we have the bad results, and I can be a little bit reactive, I know that, but I love Big Ange. And he's learning as well. Don't forget, he's never managed in the top elite league either. So he's learning as we go along. Graham Suter says, Dr. Spurs are having the weekend off. Come on, you Spurs. I think it's a bit early to say that, Graham. I really do. Vito Dano, hello, mate. Good to hear from you again. A hat trick for Madders, please. My God, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? And also, it would answer. I mean, it would really be a good shout out to Thomas Tuchel, wouldn't it? Taking over as England manager, Madders, if he were to get a hat trick at the Etihad. Plutus on Twitter, thanks so much for your message. Says Kulu is thriving in the playmaking role while Maddison is more poaching. Yeah, I mean, I said it before the game. I think what I love about having Kulusevski on the right in this game in particular is it's really allowing us to hold up the ball in the final third a lot more than I think we would be with Johnson. Johnson would be more direct, and maybe we'd have a few more corners from his direct running towards the byline. But listen, that goal from Kulusevski into Madders just shows what Kulusevski is bringing. Fab says, we can do this. Yeah, okay. I really, really hope you're right. I really hope you're right. But of course, you have to say I'm absolutely scared witless. Guys, I will be doing an instant match reaction on this channel after the game, talking all about the game for about 20 minutes. And then Chris will be on his usual post-match Spurs chat podcast alongside today his guests, Craig Dearman, Harry Scarf, and Kate Boxall. That will be at about 7:55, 8 o'clock. So make sure you tune into that as well after this watch along. Let me know in the comments, are you enjoying the watch along, guys? Will you be tuning in for more watch alongs I do on Chris's channel? I really hope that we'll be doing some more together. Thoroughly enjoying talking to you guys. And who knows? Listen, if we can get through this, what a weekend it could be if we can get through this second half. But I'm scared. Listen, we all know Manchester City are going to continue to make chances. Tottenham are going to make chances as well. We're going to need to continue to be clinical. I don't want to sound cynical, but I feel like we're going to need 4 goals to probably win this game. I hope I'm wrong. Geez, I'd love to keep us a clean sheet with Dragoshin and Ben Davis. Let's talk about Radu Dragoshin, by the way. A lot of people really upset with his performance against Ipswich, upset that he's not really that comfortable on the ball. But in a game like this, where he's on his more natural right-hand side, and a lot of the game is about getting his body in the way and reading it and cutting balls out, I think he's played really well. In fact, I think to a man, Spurs have played really well. I can't think of anyone who hasn't played well so far, but let me know if you feel any different. Thank you for your comment. Marko Tasic, go Tottenham from Serbia. Loving how many people we've got from different parts of the world for this game, guys. Man City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. It's halftime, and Man City are, looks like they're going to send on Nathan Ake. He's warming up pretty hard at halftime. Vito Danny says, yes, more watch along. Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Chris Ranwell agrees with me. Coys, we need at least 2 more goals. Do we think we'll get Johnson on? Chris from Maine, USA. Thank you so much for commenting, Chris. Johnson will undoubtedly come on at some point. There is no doubt about that. But for me, I would stick with this at the moment because, like I said, really enjoying how Kulusevski is keeping the ball in that final third and allowing us to keep some semblance of pressure on Manchester City. Don't forget, guys, if you, I don't know if any of you have ever sent in super chats to Chris before, but if you send in any super chats, I will get them up on the screen as well. Howard Bunty says, well done on the watch along. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. Please do press that like button, guys. The more likes we get on these videos, the more Spurs fans this is showed to in YouTube and Facebook and X. And yeah, we can start building this watch along community, guys, on Chris's channel. Chris makes so much amazing content. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. And also, if you like what you're getting from me, I make daily Spurs content as well at Barnaby Slater _ on YouTube. So come and give me a subscribe there as well. Mike Barrow says, stop banging on about Drags and Ben. They're fine. Are you worried I'm going to jinx it? Yeah, I'm just saying they're playing well, Mike. Don't worry. I'm saying they're playing well. I love the balance that Ben Davies brings us. And actually, I'd be probably tempted to play him alongside Romero, maybe even ahead of Dragoshin in future games because of the balance he gives us while Mickey van der Ven is injured. Okay, guys, the teams are now coming back onto the pitch. Nathan Ake is on for Manchester City. Tottenham are doing a little huddle. It's John Stones who's gone off. And of course, John Stones was one of the many Man City players who had been injured and only came back during the international break. And clearly he's got a little bit of a knock again. I wonder what Pep Guardiola will have said to his team at half time. Huge second half for Spurs. Chance to show we've got the minerals. And it kicks off, goes all the way back to Ederson, who's going to play it long. He doesn't actually. Finds a short one out to Kyle Walker. Spurs going from left to right this half. It goes all the way back to Ederson. Manchester City's fans still in the bar, a lot of them. Lots of empty seats. As Ederson plays a lovely ball out to the right-hand side. Good pressure in central midfield from Spurs. We win the ball back. It comes to Maddison, Sonny. And it comes all the way back to Ben Davies. And this will end up with Vicario, I'm sure. And Haaland looks to press Vicario pretty hard here, you know. And Vicario does well to find Davies. Who's he going to find? He tries to dink it into central midfield. Solanke holds it up beautifully. Unbelievable hold-up play from Solanke. Oh, and there was a chance for Son to maybe play in a doggy there, but he didn't. And Madders tries the big old crossfield ball, and Kulusevski brings it down on his chest well. Finds Pape Matar centrally, who gives it to Yves Bissouma. Back to Sarr. Back to Bissouma. Back to Dragoshin, and first time across to Ben Davies, a little bit behind him. Davies tries a dink over the top. Can Kulusevski chase that one down? Is there too much on it? Yes, there is. Just a little bit too much, but a good idea from Ben Davies there, and it goes out from Manchester City throw. 46 minutes gone. This is going to be a slow half, isn't it, guys? Let's face it. This half is going to go slow. Do keep your comments coming in, guys, and I will talk to you all and answer any questions of yours during the post-match reaction show straight after the game. Guardiola with the throw-in inside. Comes back to him from Gundogan. Spurs putting the press on Ake, who finds it to Ederson, who just whacks it clear this time. Comes up to Porro, who this time gets a better back header on it this time, and Dragoshin is going to go backwards, I would have thought, to Vicario, and he does. Bissouma gives Vicario an option, and he looked both ways, but in the end goes back to Davies, who finds it across to Vicario. Dragoshin is being pressed a little bit by Foden. It goes to Madders, who finds Davies. Madders coming back into that quarterback role again. Madders with a nice little inside ball to Bissouma, who does well. Spurs do well here. And Sonny again tries to play it around the corner, but gets it back and plays it inside to Madders. And there's a runner here. Thought Madders might go over the top to Porro, but instead he goes out wide to Kulusevski, who gets it down well and gives it back to Maddison. They're linking up well, Madders and Kulusevski, in this game, you have to say. Finds Sarr, Madders, who turns away. And Pep Guardiola is gesticulating at his side to get the press on. Bissouma now. And Bernardo Silva answers Guardiola by getting the press on all the way back to Vicario, who plays a good ball into Sarr, who's pressed. And Maddison wins an important foul in central midfield. And Gundogan is unhappy. Bounces the ball down. Doesn't feel like it's a foul, but good stuff from Maddison. That's the second time Maddison has done that today. Sarr did well to turn it around the corner. It's definitely a foul. What is Gundogan complaining about? Maddison gets his leg in front of Gundogan, who takes his leg away. Madders got a bit of cramp. I talked earlier in this video, didn't I, about how Madders, I don't think Postecoglou thinks Maddison has the fitness for these, for playing 90 minutes in these games. And he's already just been given a stretch for his cramp there. Bit of a worry. Dragoshin is going to take this free kick. I would probably give it to someone else, to be honest. Yeah, Solanke's made a run over the top, and Dragusin tries to find him, and it's easily dealt with by Akanji. And Man City now have the ball on the left-hand side with Guardiola. He's forced to turn back. Again, Sarr pressing. It was Basuma that time actually pressing Foden in midfield, and Basuma's putting in some good legwork already this second half. Man City just playing it around in central midfield. And the Manchester City fans trying to give their support, trying to get behind the team. They all seem to have come back from the bars now. And Nathan Ake forced to go back to Ederson as Solanke, again, doing so much doggy work. Ederson plays a good ball out to Walker on the right, who plays a beautiful ball inside to Haaland, who came deep. You don't see that very often. And now Man City, but well seen by Porro. Cuts out an important pass, and Porro's now running all the way, and he's got Kulusevski in front of him, and I would give it to him. Porro's going to try a deep cross. It's a good ball. Sonny on the left-hand side. Oh, it just comes past Sonny. Good ball from Porro all the way across the box. Oof. Anyway, Spurs still have the ball. It comes to Madders. He's going to find inside to Basuma, I would have thought. Yeah. City were coming at Tottenham, and then it was a bad pass intercepted by Porro, and Spurs were on the transition. But anyway, Sonny now to Madders. It comes back to Davis, who comes across to Dragusin, and Foden putting the press on Dragusin. And in the end, Pape Matar goes back to Vicario, who gives it to Pape Matar. He's got to be careful. My God, he had to be careful, and he did enough. Lovely stuff from Spurs, though, now. Lovely stuff from Spurs. And that is a terrible, terrible foul from, I think, Akanji. It's definitely a booking, probably no more. But Madders just got a little touch ahead of Akanji. How is that not a booking? He really should be booked there for Akanji. He just totally took out Maddison. Guardiola scratching his head on the sidelines. Don't forget, guys, I'll be doing an instant match reaction to this game after. Spurs try an early free kick. Solanke made a run in behind, but couldn't get a foot on it. I'll be doing an instant match reaction, so wait around for that, and I can talk to you guys in your comments during that show. And then Chris will be doing his usual Spurs Chat podcast at the end of the game, about 7:55, 8 p.m. So tune in to both of those. Manchester City 0, Spurs 2. Good stuff in midfield from Pape Matar, but a foul is given against him. Man City trying to take it quickly, and they do. Guardiola now out on the left. Into Rico Lewis, and Sarr putting the press on. Rico Lewis now coming across the pitch again. Sonny putting the press on Akanji. And good stuff for Man City. Get out of it easily. And they're in down the right-hand side now with Kyle Walker. And they've got 5 forward here, Man City. Good ball inside, but not a good secondary ball there. And Spurs get a foot on it. And now Kulusevski wins it on the transition. Brilliant nutmeg from Decky. Beautiful play from Kulusevski. Can you get a touch, Sonny? Spurs now in a really good position. City have 3 back, but Spurs have 3 up. He tries to find Solanke. It's still a good chance for Spurs, but Solanke could have had a better. Cuts it back. Chance for Porro. 3-0! 3-0 Tottenham Hotspur. Pedro Porro. Unbelievable! What the fuck is going on? Oh my God! Oh my God! What am I witnessing here? Beautiful football, Spurs from back to front. Comes across from Sonny to Solanke, puts too much on it, but Solanke does the right thing, cuts back. First time Porro hits it, top left-hand corner. Boom time. And now the Spurs celebration is sitting on the floor, but this is not done yet, Tottenham. Only one club could not win this game from here. What a goal. Kulusevski, unbelievable in central midfield. One nutmeg, gets it to Son, who finds Kulusevski again, breaking forward, and now Solanke makes a run for him. It's Kulusevski who actually tries to play it to Solanke. It gets in front of him, and he's in the inside right channel now, and he sees Porro's run, hits it first time. Honestly, what am I witnessing? What am I witnessing? I said we need a third, but I think we need a fourth. I think we need a fourth, guys. Honestly. Man City now going long up to Haaland. But Bissouma sweeps it up nicely and finds a good ball to Son, who takes a great touch. Kyle Walker gets it out for a throw-in. 53 minutes gone. Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Pedro Porro, great run to back up his mate Dominic Solanke. Hits it first time. Absolutely no chance for Edison. Went past him before he could even move. So it comes back to Vicario. He finds James Maddison, gets it back to him. Vicario being pressed by Foden there, and a brave pass from Vicario back to Maddis. And now Dragusin, who can find Porros in space. Tries a ball, gets it cut out. Now to find an inside. Porro just trying to be too clever here, but Sarr does well. And a bad foul on James Maddison here. Interesting to see if this one's high. It's a yellow card for, is it Silva? No, Lewis. Is it high? No, it's all right. $54 minutes gone. Manchester City 0, Tottenham 3. What? I've got to change the I've got to change the banner again. Keep forgetting. Dragusin plays a good ball down the road. Porro taken out there. Man City starting to dig their heels in and make some fouls. Gvardiol this time takes out Pedro Porro on the right-hand side. And Guardiola looks lost on the touchline. And the rain starts coming down at the Etihad. And gets his hood up. Vicario now. He tries a long ball over the top. I'll tell you what, flicked on well by Kulusevski. Solanke trying to get in behind, but he doesn't. Huge few minutes for Spurs now. Need to keep playing. Pape Matar just putting so much engine work in central midfield. City just popping it about again, as they have all game, to be fair to them, as it comes out wide to the right. And now inside to Kyle Walker. And that went off. Man City a little bit rattled as they kick the ball off the sideline there. What is going on at the Etihad? Comes back to Vicario. Plays a good ball out wide to Porro. Needs an option. Kicks it off to Kulusevski. It goes off the pitch, but Porro does really well. And Spurs are in down the right again here. Finds Solanke. I'll tell you what, can you out-muscle him here then? No, he doesn't, unfortunately. Solanke was nearly in there. But Man City now on the transition to the right. Driving at us. Bernardo Silva cuts back onto his left foot. And Spurs get bodies back. Kulusevski and Madders back behind the ball now. Rico Lewis is on it. Yeah, out wide now, left to Gvardiol again. Will he get an early cross in? He tries the cutback ball, but well played from Bissouma. And Porro tries a difficult ball to Kulusevski, and we've lost it again. We probably could have kept to a foot on the ball there. Gundogan turning away. Spurs on their 18-yard line. Kulusevski working back. Solanke working back. Rico Lewis central. Gets it out wide right. Savinho at Destiny Udogie. Comes inside. Is he going to have a dig here, Savinho? Doesn't. Tries to find Lewis. Brilliant from Kulusevski. And now a chance for Spurs to break. Well done, Sonny. Gets his foot on the ball. Can he find Udogie? Oh, it's not a good ball, unfortunately, from Son. And Udogie's ahead of the ball now. Great tackle there from James Maddison. I've never seen him do it. And he's got no one near him, so he has to turn away. And Sonny helps him in the end. And ends up just kicking the ball off because there's no one around him. Sorry, I forgot to put the banner with the scoreline up. What am I doing? Apologies. Manchester City 0, Tottenham 3. A big thank you to Chris Cowlin for reminding me on text there to put the score up. I will get used to the scorelines, guys. I will get used to putting the graphic up. Spurs away fans absolutely causing ructions at the Etihad. You can hear them. Anyway, Man City still popping it about on the right-hand side now as Bernardo Silva runs at us. Gives it out wide to Savinho again. Udogie showing him the line. He wants to cut back onto his left. Kyle Walker's going to get a cross in. It's not a good one. Cleared well by Bissouma. And now Spurs just playing a little bit of silly buggers in their own area here. I'd get rid of it, Bissouma. Get rid of it. And he does. He chips it down the line. Great stuff from Solanke. What a... Oh, beautiful hold-up play from Solanke there, but unfortunately tackled on the second touch. Good press from Pape Matar there, but he fouls Gundogan, getting on the wrong side of him. 58 minutes gone. Manchester City 0, Spurs 3. And they take the free kick quickly. They've got 2 men out wide here. It's Bernardo Silva on the ball. Gives it to Savinho. Is he going to cross it? He does. No, he doesn't. Cuts back again. Kyle Walker, is he going to dink it in? City have 2 men at the back stick. Spurs never mark the back stick. They've got Ake and Guardiol at the back stick here. And there it goes to Guardiol. It's a good cross. Corner. Cross went to the front stick where Ake was, and it's a good block. And they take the corner quickly, City. Gundogan to Lewis. He's going to get his dink into the back stick chart. Good clearance from that cross. Was it Dragoshin? Not sure, but brilliant clearance. But City have the ball again now. Another cross coming in. Haaland was miles offside there, but there was another player. And a good turn from Madders under pressure. Finds Son. Oh, Bissouma's just made a huge error. Comes to Haaland in the box. And then Davis isn't strong enough. And Haaland hits the bar. Two mistakes. Lucky. Bissouma, in the end, Haaland tries to hit it into the top corner and it hits the bar. We're very lucky. 59 minutes gone. That was on his left foot after Bissouma gave the ball away and Ben Davis wasn't strong enough in a 50-50. Vicario now plays a dodgy ball to Ben Davis. He has to go long and he gives it away, but we get lucky. Pape Matar, and he's strong in a 50-50 there, Sar, but we've lost it again. Goes back to Edison. Half an hour to go. Man City coming towards us down the right-hand side. Sonny helping out Destiny Udogie. But Bernardo Silva now. Good chance for City at the back stick. We never marked the back stick, but well blocked Pedro Porro. Brilliant block from Pedro Porro. City have the ball again. They're doing everything very quickly. They're trying to keep the tempo up as they would. They've tried the big diagonal and it goes over Guardiol's head and a chance for Spurs with a throw in to just take a little bit of a breather. So Silva cuts it back. Every time Man City get to the byline, they cut it back. Every single time. And this time it was Guardiol with a right foot shot going into the bottom left-hand corner and Porro gets in the way. And now they're showing Kevin De Bruyne on the bench, who's been injured, obviously, but he's on the bench this time. And that's a foul to Spurs. Well done, Yves Bissouma. Made the most of a little tug from Erling Haaland there. And Haaland not looking happy at the moment. And Brennan Johnson is being readied. There will be some room in behind Man City, so you can see why that's happening. But who's he going to bring off? That'll be interesting. Will it be Madders? He did have some cramp. 61 minutes gone. This time Vicario goes long down the line with the free kick. Oh, and it's flicked on. And Deki Kulusevski's putting a bit of pressure on, and Edison has to kick it long this time. Bissouma does beautifully with his headed clearance. Finds Pedro Porro, and Spurs have the ball. Pape Matar now back into Bissouma, just keeping the ball a little bit here, Spurs. Madders tries a difficult ball, and it's deflected off for a throw-in. So Brennan Johnson is coming on, and it's for Sonny. Wow. Sonny obviously did play a lot of minutes over the international break. Had to fly to South Korea. Kyle Walker just giving him a little handshake. And Sonny will give that captain's armband to the brace-scoring James Maddison as Brennan Johnson comes onto him to add some more pace to the left-hand side. The only issue I have is that Sonny has been holding it up pretty well on that left-hand side, keeping the pressure on. And I'm not sure that Johnson's tight control in tight spaces is as well. It's not as good as Sonny's. So that could be something that comes our way. Guys, if you haven't already, please do like this video. The more likes we get on this live watch along, the more Spurs fans will be notified of its existence. Do subscribe to Chris's channel as well if you're not already. And subscribe to my channel if you like the cut of my stuff at Barnaby Slater _ for daily Tottenham Hotspur content. Dragoshin now into Bissouma, who has to go all the way back to Vicario. And City are pressing Vicario a lot more this half. And he's going to have to go long. He doesn't. He finds Maddison, who's in a dangerous area there. He does well and finds Dragoshin. And he goes long this time to the halfway line. And Solanke is out jumped by Nathan Ake. Oh, good turn there. Rico Lewis and Dominic Solanke's been turned. Kulusevski needs to work a bit harder back here. It's on the other side of the pitch, but he has to keep an eye behind him on Gvardiol coming to the back stick. Silvino's on the ball. Comes again to Gundogan. 63 minutes gone. Ake this time. Across to Gvardiol. Inside to Rico Lewis. Pape Matar putting him under pressure. Maddison now putting Gundogan under pressure. Goes to the right-hand side. Brennan Johnson working towards Kyle Walker. Now a free chance at a cross for Silvino here, and we're not marking the back post. Gvardiol gets time to bring it down and hits it over the bar. And that is a worry I have for Tottenham all season. We let crosses come in too easily. We don't stop the cross at source. And then we don't mark the back post. And that was a good chance for Gvardiol. Hits his half volley over the bar. Spurs really struggling to beat the press now for the last few minutes. City putting a lot of pressure on Tottenham. We're trying to get out via Vicario, via Dragishin, via the right-hand side. But City winning it back pretty much relentlessly at this point as it comes to Gvardiol. Back to Gundogan. City still just popping it about left to right to left. Comes all the way to Walker, who finds it out wide to the right-hand side. And Bernardo Silva, he's got Silvino with him. But Johnson working back. That's well done, Brennan Johnson. And now Kulusevski just blocked off a little potential ball over to the left-hand side in Gvardiol, but it comes to him anyway. But Porro's in good shape, and it comes narrow again with Gundogan, who plays a good ball into Rico Lewis. And they're just outside the box now, Spurs. Good strength, though, and Spurs now have a transition with Solanke, who's strong. It's 3-on-3. If he can look left here, Johnson's in on the left, but he finds Solanke on the right instead. And Kulusevski's running towards the box. On his right foot, Decky. Oh! Great save from Edison, from Decky Kulusevski. I'll tell you what, Solanke found him. And I wonder if the better move was to try and find Brennan Johnson on the left, but he didn't see him, and he found Decky Kulusevski, who drove into the box, took it on his right foot, got a shot away, one-handed save from Edison. That could have made it Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Okay, Man City now playing between the lines. Foden finds Gvardiol. Back to Ake. Spurs on their 18-yard box, as usual, as City pop it about, left to right again. Kyle Walker, who's going to find Bernardo Silva. Silvino's made a little run inside for him. But it comes back, and a chance for Walker to get across in. Foden's made a late run, and Dragishin gets up ahead of Erling Haaland. It comes to Ake, who now finds Gvardiol, trying to reach the byline. But no, it comes to Rico Lewis, who has a dig, and it's over the bar. And we don't mind that. Solanke just couldn't see Brennan Johnson, who was in the inside left channel. And in the end, Kulusevski's left one-on-one, cuts on his left-hand side, gets a decent shot away, to be fair. And it's a good save, considering it's only 7 yards out. It's a decent save from Edison. It's kind of straight at him, but he had to get enough on it. Solanke being held there, but not given anything by the ref. And Bernardo Silva breaking forward, plays a ball in between the lines to Foden. Don't foul him, and we didn't. And Pape Matar did well then. It comes back to the halfway line with City. 67 minutes gone now. Akanji on the ball. Gundogan plays the ball over the top to Silvino now. He's going to take on Udogie down the line, I think, and he does. Tries to get to the byline. Udogie does great and is fouled. Brilliant defending from Udogie. Absolutely brilliant defending from Udogie. He let Silvino get down to the byline, and he used his muscle. He used his strength. And Silvino had to foul him in the end. And they're showing Romero in the stands watching this game. That's not Romero, sorry. That's Rodri. He was in the dark. That was weird. And Sky are bringing up the stats about how often Man City lose when Rodri's not playing. But it's too soon for that. Good tackle there from Ben Davis. Matters. And Spurs just trying to find their way out on the left-hand side, but they can't. And Man City win the ball again. Rico Lewis now in central midfield. Plays it into Phil Foden, who's coming deeper and deeper to get on the ball. He finds Gundogan. Gundogan was tempted to kind of lob one over the top of the back line towards Haaland there, but he didn't. And now he plays one into Rico Lewis. And actually now Gvardiol is in down the left. Chance for a cross. He dinks it towards the back stick. Chance for Haaland over the bar. Free header, but it was just a bit above him. It was just behind him from the Gvardiol cross. And it was headed over the bar. 68 minutes. Spurs again struggling to break the press. He tries Vicario, ball down the line to Pape Matar, but we kick it off the pitch again. And Man City are just winning the ball back very easily at the moment. Tottenham really playing on the transition. Ake now breaking forward. Comes out wide left to Gvardiol again. But Kulusevski and Porro there, so it comes back narrow, this time with Akanji. And again, it's going to come out wide right now. Kyle Walker is going to play it over to Bernardo Silva. Silvinho makes an inside run for him, but well played by Basuma. It might have been Udogie, sorry. And it has to come all the way back to Edison as we hit the 70th minute. Solanke, as ever, doing his doggy work as Edison tries to play a long ball to Gvardiol. Porro's in decent shape. Comes back to Rico Lewis, central midfield. Plays it into Gundogan. Good ball, Gundogan to Lewis, back to Akanji. They're just popping it about in central midfield here, City, and it comes out to Gvardiol again. Foden's made a little inside run for him, but it has to come back, this time to Akanji. Wants to play a long ball over the top to the right. Big diag, but he doesn't. Plays it to Gvardiol instead, and this time Foden has made a good run, and maybe Gvardiol should have found him, but he comes inside instead to Akanji. And Silvinho made a good run for him over the top, not found. It comes through to Ake, now to Walker, and Silvinho is found. And Brennan Johnson goes to help out Destiny Udogie. Well done. And it comes back to Kyle Walker. Left to right, right to left for Man City again, as Spurs have bodies in the way. 71 minutes. Gundogan trying to find a way forward. Good little foot in from James Maddison there, but goes back to Man City. And they're coming across to the left now. And a lot of space for Gvardiol on the left-hand side of the box. Comes back to Akanji. And a good tackle from Pape Matar, and it's unfortunate that it doesn't break to a Spurs player. Comes to Kyle Walker. Is he going to have a dig? He doesn't. Opens it out. Now, Bernardo Silva tries a cross on his right foot. No, he doesn't. And that is a corner. Brennan Johnson gets it out for a corner to Manchester City. Are they going to take this short like they have done in the second half so far, or are they going to try and lob this onto Vicario's head like they did very often in the first half? Please do like this video, guys. Let's try and get as many likes as we can. It's going to be an in-swinger from Phil Foden. 71 minutes gone. Here it comes. Vicario comes for it and claims. Well done, Big Vic. And he sits on it a little bit. And finally now throws it to Porro. But is anyone near Porro? Porro goes long over the top to Kulusevski. Oh, it just goes out of play. Nice idea from Pedro. And a good run from Kulusevski. And now Kevin De Bruyne coming to try and find a Sky narrative script that De Bruyne can come on and change this game. Oh, big foul from James Maddison in central midfield on Rico Lewis there, but refs play on. That is just showing a little bit of strength in a tackle there. I don't mind that at all. Basuma needs to be careful. Basuma fouls Lewis there, but Lewis gets up quickly. You need to be careful there, Basuma. You are, of course, on a booking. City now out wide with Gvardiol. Looking to come inside. Finds a good ball central. And City in a good space here. Foden. Oh, Foden turns two players beautifully and has a shot. Easily saved by Vicario. Pedro Porro going for the big long ball to Dominic Solanke, and he can't bring it down. Nathan Ake deals with it well. Vicario threw it to Porro, and I think Porro could just turn back there maybe. We're just giving the ball away a bit too easily at this point. 72 minutes gone, and City now in down the right. Silvinho running inside. But he loses it, and Pape Matar, and this is where we did have Son in front of him, but now it's Johnson. Oh, and a terrible ball from Sarr. Unfortunately, Spurs win a throw-in, but that was a little bit lackadaisical from Spurs there. Fortunate not to give the ball away. Still Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Grealish and De Bruyne coming on, and you can see a lot of crosses coming from that left flank from Grealish now. And who's coming off? Yeah, Gary Neville's saying they want to create a manic finish. So Silvinho is coming off. And Rico Lewis. What a squad Man City have. 73 minutes gone. Manchester City 0. Tottenham Hotspur 3. Don't forget, I'll be doing a post-match reaction show live on this stream afterwards. And then Chris Cowling will be doing his usual Spurs Chat podcast after the game at about 5 to 8. So do tune in for that. He's got some great guests on tonight's show. Spurs had the throw, but we've lost it already. And Man City again coming through midfield with Gundogan now. And they found De Bruyne early now on the right flank. Davis is in a decent position. Comes back to Silva, to Walker. Back out to Silva. He plays some good stuff between him and De Bruyne. And they're in down the right-hand side here. Chance, really well defended by Pedro Porro at the back post. Haaland would have had a free header, but Porro was in a great position. Deki Kulusevski, they're just showing a replay of what Kulusevski did for the third goal. Just what a genius player he is. He's hungry and he's eating. Beautiful ball to Solanke. Maybe a bit too much on it, but Solanke got his head up, scanned, saw Porro. Beautiful finish. Bang. And with the one fist salute. 75 minutes gone now. And City again on the attack with De Bruyne, but a good tackle. Oh, a good tackle there from Udogie, but it was very unlucky that it broke to a Man City player. Spurs looking a little bit tired at this point, you have to say. Anyway, comes back out wide now to Bernardo Silva. Johnson's fronting him up, but he's going to dink this to the back stick. Vicario, well claimed. And Vicario throws it early to Kulusevski down the right. He needs help here, Deki. And he brings it back to Porro, and I'm pleased. Sarr's on. Sarr does well. Good little round the corner ball. And Madders keeps the ball for Spurs. Ben Davis needs an option here. Beautiful ball. Just a little inside. This is good stuff from Spurs here, you know. Oh, and he just plays it behind Johnson. And actually now Spurs are in trouble on the transition. We were nearly in, but now Man City are in. There's a player at the back post. Great block from Ben Davis. Great block. He blocked Kevin De Bruyne's cross there, Ben Davis. That was huge. De Bruyne still on the ball. Comes back to Kyle Walker. And now De Bruyne fronting up Ben Davis as well. He's out wide, Davis here, and he plays it in. Big chance City here. Great save, Vicario from Gundogan. Huge save from Vic. He just stood up tall. Corner. It's going to be an outswinger this time. De Bruyne. Cleared by Ibasuma. Great header. Kulusevski's going to challenge Walker, but Walker gets there first. But can we get... Oh, I'll tell you what. I thought that might be a chance to get Kulusevski in, but it comes to De Bruyne. He's going to left-footed cross it this time. And it goes to the back stick, and there's nobody on the Man City player. Now there's a shot from outside the box. Cleared. And that's brilliant from Solanke. It's Brennan Johnson. Brilliant. Holds the ball up just outside the box and gets knocked over. Great stuff, Spurs. 77 minutes gone. Vic asking the players to calm down. In the end, it was Gundogan in. He's 6 yards out on a narrow angle. Toe pokes it at Vicario. Stands up strong with his chest and goes out for a corner. Spurs in on the left here with James Maddison, and he's fouled quite badly in central midfield by Bernardo Silva there. It was an important tackle for Silva to put in because Spurs were in really good shape there. "78 minutes. We're in the 78th minute. Spurs have a free kick about 15 yards inside the Man City half. Davis gives it to Basuma, who gives a bit of a dodgy ball to Udogie. And Davis just hits it over the top of the Man City defence for Johnson to put pressure on Kyle Walker. I don't mind that at all. And Walker has to clear long. Oh, and it's well done in midfield there. Oh, brilliant there from Basuma, I think it was, to win the ball ahead of De Bruyne. And Spurs have it with Ben Davis. Gives it to Dragusin. He's being pressed here. He can just... I would chip it long here, Dragusin. Yeah, he just kicks it. He just kicks it out of play. he could have just kicked it over the top into the channel there. I don't know what he's trying really, but that is an example of him looking uncomfortable when being pressed. But he's had a good game, Dragishin, so I don't mind it. Anyway, Gundogan turns away from Solanke in central midfield. Gives it to Akanji. Once again, Man City bringing it left to right. Udogie now. Up against his man. Comes back to Kyle Walker. Into Akanji. De Bruyne taking up some good places. Tries an early cross. Well blocked by Basuma. Haaland wins it back for City. Careful here, Spurs. Haaland's in. Big chance. Great save, Vicario. Get the second one. Brilliant save from Vic. That is huge. From Erling Haaland. And he punches the air, Vicario. Oh, and there's a fight. What happened here? What we don't need is to get the Man City fans behind them for this last 10 minutes. So the referee is talking to De Bruyne and Maddison. I haven't seen a replay, but after the save, all we saw was Big Vic giving it some fist pumps. And then there was a melee. And I don't know if it's someone getting annoyed with Vicario for being happy that he made an important save. It will be a corner to Man City. De Bruyne is being booked. I'm not sure exactly what for. He's calling over a Spurs player by the looks of thing as well. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Oh, he's having a go at Basuma now, De Bruyne. And he's also booked another player. I'm not sure who that was. Sarr. It's another. Oh, it's an unbelievable one-handed save from Vicario. Haaland was just 6 yards out again on a tight angle, brings it onto his left foot. And it's past Vicario, and he gets a huge right hand on it. And that's what led to the melee. Sarr was on the ground, I think. This is an unbelievable save. Wow. Oh, it's that Sarr gets kicked by De Bruyne. So that should be not a corner, actually. That should be a foul to Spurs. I hope the referee's got this right, and he has. Because now we're up by the halfway line. We're into the 80th minute. Man City do have the ball again. That's Kevin De Bruyne's second yellow card of the season. Madders putting the press on Man City. He's won it. But then Man City win it back. Madders thought it was a foul, and now Man City coming forward, but gets stuck under De Bruyne's feet. And it comes back to Vicario, who rightly just kicks it out first time up to the halfway line. Oh, bad header, though, and Solanke's got it. And Spurs have chances here with Maddison. Kulusevski's making him a good run. Oh, Madders tried to find him, and it's blocked. He took too much time there, and Man City have it again. I think it's Grealish who got in the way. Oh, Kulusevski would have been in down the right there. Kyle Walker now. Again, just City popping it left and right. But Spurs have bodies in the right shape. The same shape they've had the whole game. Kulusevski helping out with Grealish on the left. And Johnson helping out with De Bruyne on the right. As it comes towards the right now with Akanji. And he chips it over towards De Bruyne. Who gets it down. Lays it back this time to Kyle Walker. Goes back to De Bruyne. Inside to Akanji now. Looking for the big one over the top of Kulusevski to Jack Grealish. And this is where some crosses are going to come in. You've got to think Grealish is going to get it on his right and try and cross it. He doesn't. He gives it to Gvardiol. It's on his wrong side, so it comes narrow. But Gvardiol turns away from Kulusevski. And they go backwards a bit. And Gundogan now inside to Ake. Is he going to have a dig here? He doesn't. He digs it out now to Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side. Fronting up Udogie. He's going to try and get the cross in, and he does. Good clearance from Pape Matar. He's going to have to clear again. Doesn't manage to. Outside of the box now to Grealish inside. And Pape Matar with a huge bit of defending. Turns. Gives it to Basuma. Spurs now in a bit of trouble on their own byline. And Spurs give it away. And that is lazy from Spurs and complacent. And I hate it. Comes back to Grealish. Sarr should have just cleared it. Grealish now in the box. Outside of the box. Akanji has a dig. Corner. Bit frustrating when Spurs have a chance to clear it there. Don't play silly buggers with it. Just properly clear it. And we didn't. Anyway, the corner's been taken quickly. City getting on with it. De Bruyne. De Bruyne's going to have a free shot here. Blocked beautifully. Well done, Tottenham. Comes to the halfway line. Get out of the box, Spurs. Get out. Pressure on the ball. Comes to Grealish. He's going to cut back, surely. He's fronting up Kulusevski, though. He doesn't. He goes down the line. Dinks it to the back stick. Chance. Over the bar. Silva. It was on the volley. It was a very difficult chance. Grealish easily dinks it up. We don't mark the back post as ever. And it's away over the bar. They cut to the Spurs fans. Look like they're having an amazing time. But like I said, still a Spurs fan of 30 years. I'm shitting myself. 7 minutes to go. Spurs again can't keep the ball as we play it down the line towards Solanke. Good clearance. Oh, and Sarr gives away a foul there. But waving play on. That is not where the free kick was taken from. That's not the free kick. Yeah, the referee's called that back, and rightly so. 84 minutes gone. De Bruyne takes it quickly out to Grealish on the left-hand side. Into De Bruyne now. Great boy. He's offside. He's offside. It's over the bar from Guardiola anyway. And he was offside. But that's what you get from De Bruyne. He's playing more balls already than they had before in between the lines, trying to make stuff happen. He's an unbelievable footballer. And we've got to put pressure on the ball when he has it. We've got to put pressure on the ball. Make him turn away. Make him go right and left. Don't let him play balls into the pocket. Manchester City 0. Tottenham Hotspur 3. 84th minute. Vicario going long with his goal kicks now. I don't mind it. Solanke challenging. But Ake with an easy win. And a bad header that time, you have to say, from Pape Matar. And City have it back with Akanji. Lays it out wide to Silva, who gets it back to Kyle Walker. Comes inside to Akanji. To Ake now. Looking to bring it to the left to Grealish, you would have thought. No, plays the big old diag ahead of Kevin De Bruyne. Gets it down one touch. Beautiful stuff. Good block, though, on the cross from Udogie. Comes to Kyle Walker now. Is he going to try and get a cross in? He doesn't. Cuts it back to Silva. We'll have a free cross. They free at the back post. Porro's there. He's let it run over him. Grealish has kept it on, and Spurs have stopped here. It's gone out for a goal kick, and I don't mind that. And the City fans are starting to leave the Etihad. They are starting to leave the Etihad with 4.5 minutes to go. And I have to say, other than the substitutions, there have not been a lot of stoppages in this second half. They're just showing whether that ball went out or not. Oh, yeah, it did. Well, it was close, actually. Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Please do like this video, guys. Press like on this video. Subscribe to Chris's channel and subscribe to my channel at Barnaby Slater _ if you like my rantings during this watch along. There should hopefully be more watch alongs on Chris's channel. I'm really enjoying it, guys. Man City get the ball now in midfield. Akanji running forward. Finds Silva on the right. Walker's outside him. De Bruyne's inside him. Udogie now fronted with Walker, and Udogie does really well again. Corner, Manchester City. And Udogie goes down, and I don't mind that either. He's grabbing his hamstring, but I think that's a little bit of professionalism from Udogie, and I don't mind it. He's gone down on the pitch. Maybe it's a bit of cramp. Hopefully it's a bit of cramp. And Udogie is back up. Trying to run off cramp. Was it a bit of professionalism? Anyway, corner to Man City now. Into the 87th minute. Outswinger from De Bruyne. Lots of empty seats. Here it comes. Near stick. Easily cleared by Porro. Terrible corner, you have to say. And now a chance for Kulusevski to hold it up on the left-hand side in the halfway line. And he does so beautifully. Foden's at his back. Turns Foden. Kulusevski's hungry. Will he eat here? Johnson was offside. And he's hit the post, but I'm sure it would have been given offside anyway. And Man City play on. I think Johnson made his run too early. And now they're in down the right again with Kevin De Bruyne. Cuts inside this time. Good block from Basuma. And Johnson helps him out. Well, he has to be offside there. No, Johnson's inadvertently played it to Silva. Gets it back to De Bruyne. Coming narrow now, De Bruyne. Plays a ball to Gundogan. And Porro just whacks it clear. Spurs taking their breather. 88 minutes gone. Manchester City 0. Tottenham Hotspur 3. Guardiola looking nonplussed on the sideline. Spurs bringing on Lucas Bergvall and Timo Werner. Madder's coming off. He's had a great game. Vicario takes the armband. That's interesting. I love that. Although I probably would have given it to Kulusevski unless Decky is coming off as well. Madders looking a bit annoyed about something, but I think they're just doing a little bit of professional time wasting here, to be honest. They're just showing Madders' goals. Beautiful first goal. Kulusevski's cross in behind Stones. Left foot finish from 2 yards. Bang. Second goal. Fronted up by Edison. Left foot. Dink over the onrushing keeper. Beautiful stuff. What a performance from Madders. Will he get man of the match? I would still give it to Kulusevski personally, but let's see. Madders trudging off now into the 89th minute. Tottenham Hotspur. The fans absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. Lucas Bergvall coming on. Jed Spence coming on as well. Madders has been given man of the match. He did play well. Saar off. He's had a great game. Excuse me. He's had a great game. Good to see Jed Spence back from fitness. We'll need him in the next few Europa League games for sure. I know he can't play in the Europa League, but we'll need him in the league games for sure. Udogie has come off as well. That looks like cramp. Anyway, City now in down the right, fronted up by Spence. Spence gets his body on the way. He's in left back now. Bernardo Silva trying to get across him. We're into the 90th minute. I think because of those subs, they'll probably find 5 added minutes. Man City with the throw in. They're looking for runners. Bergvall now chasing the ball down. Forces it to go backwards. Good stuff from Bergvall. It actually comes across to the left-hand side. And Spurs pressing Man City. That was Brennan Johnson. Good work there to Ake. And we're in the 90th minute now. How much added time will there be? 4 minutes. I love it. Only 4. I love it. Comes across to Jack Grealish. Don't forget, guys, I'll be doing an instant match reaction after this game on this stream, and I'll get into your comments in that as well. So ask any questions you have. As the ball comes out wide right to Bernardo Silva, fronting up Jed Spence. It has to go back. An early cross comes all the way. Brilliant defending from Radu Dragusin in his own 6-yard box. Brilliant. Gets it over his own bar. Brilliant. And City have taken the corner already. And it's gone off for a goal kick. That was brilliant from Dragusin. It was an early ball from De Bruyne, and as it's coming across, Dragusin has to scoop it over his own bar. They're playing so hard, the 4 defenders, for that clean sheet, as is Vicario. Amazing stuff. Brilliant. A clean sheet at the Etihad here would be fucking huge for Spurs. Come on. Let's finish this off the right way. Vicario goes long. 3 minutes left. Solanke goes up with a big header. Solanke has run doggies all day. He's put in a hell of a shift. And now it comes through to Bergvall. Beautiful first touch from Bergvall. And a yellow card in central midfield as Bergvall got away from, who is it? Akanji, I think. Yeah, Akanji booked. What a performance this has been from Big Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham Hotspur. 2 minutes to go. City have not had a sniff in this game. We've done an absolute number on these, and they've lost 5 in a row now. And Spurs can bounce forward from this. Fantastic. 2 minutes to go. Absolutely brilliant from Tottenham Hotspur. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. And I've been saying for the last 2 weeks during the international break, we might turn these over. And people have laughed at me in the comments on my videos. But I'm telling you, I had a good feeling about it. The same way I had a feeling we might lose to Ipswich. I'll tell you what, Spurs now with Werner on the left. And Kulusevski's making runs for him. So is Jed Spence. Werner is just powering through. Get it across the box. Brennan Johnson. 4-0 Tottenham. 4-0 at the Etihad. Unbelievable. 4-0. Brennan Johnson. Backstick. Brilliant, brilliant from Timo Werner. Put the afterblasters on, the afterburners. Got him down the left, embarrassed everyone, crosses it. What is going on? What is going on? Brennan Johnson, Timo Werner, outpaced Carl Walker on the right. And Werner, who's got so much abuse. What a day this is, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Go out, get as drunk as you can, because days like this do not come along often. 4-0 at the treble winners. The team have won 4 leagues in a row. Tell me your Ange out now. Tell me your Ange out now. The ball broke to Werner on the halfway line. and he's fronted up with Kyle Walker, and he just burst past him. Walker has nothing. Beautiful cross to Johnson at the back post where Johnson always is. 4-0 Tottenham Hotspur at the Etihad. What a time to be alive. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And Big Ange Postecoglou just looks at it as if he totally expected it. It's been a horrible 2 weeks in the international break, but these weeks are going to be unbelievable. We're in the last minute now, and Bergvall makes a bit of a dodgy tackle, as he likes to. But I like to see him fighting. Good kid. Ange, shaking his head a little bit. He can't believe what's happening. Come on now, just see out your clean sheet, boys. Comes to Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. Fronted, as ever, by 2 Spurs players. We've done a number on these. We've embarrassed them. Porro turns away, and Bergvall is now in on the right with Kulusevski. Little 1-2, is it? No, Bergvall turns. Gives it to Porro. That is the end of the game. Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Pep Guardiola hugs Big Ange Postecoglou. What an unbelievable performance. What an unbelievable game. What odds would you have got on that? 2 goals from James Maddison. 1 goal from Brennan Johnson at the end, and a beauty from Pedro Porro. And Manchester City had nothing. They had no answer. They gave us nothing. Vicario made some decent saves, but we just battered them. Guardiola looks lost. He signed a 2-year deal. In fact, he said he agreed to sign a 2-year deal. I don't think he's even signed it, and maybe he'll be thinking differently now. Is this the game that all the Ange Postecoglou experts have been talking about with his style of play, where it suddenly clicks and you start to batter teams? All the articles this week, an article on Sky Sports saying, Dr. Tottenham will see you now, Manchester City, because you've lost 4 in a row. You'll turn us over. Oh, no. Oh, no. You have been battered. You have been absolutely battered, Manchester City. And frankly, you had no answer to us. You had no answer to this Tottenham Hotspur team. What an unbelievable time to be alive this is. And you've got to give it to Ange Postecoglou, haven't you? You've got to give it to him. He's been under so much pressure. This is my instant match reaction to the Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4 game. And I can't tell you how proud I am of these boys as Pedro Porro and Sonny and Brennan Johnson go over to the away fans. It's only just finished. Timo Werner, honestly, what a brilliant performance to come on. I'm just seeing him, so I'm saying it. But he outpaced Kyle Walker. Last kind of kick of the game, puts it across to put the cherry on the icing on the top of the cake to make it 4-0. Brennan Johnson at the back stick. But we just totally deserved it. We totally and utterly deserved it. From minute one, absolutely outstanding from Tottenham Hotspur. James Maddison, man of the match, gives Big Ange Postecoglou a huge hug. Vicario put in a great shift, made some absolutely huge and monumental saves. Just top to bottom, Pedro Porro scored a great goal. Destiny Udogie didn't let Silvinho have a kick. Ben Davis, beautiful balance on his left, finding balls into Son, into Brennan Johnson all the time. Radu Dragusin, last few minutes of the game, a huge interception to keep the clean sheet. Scoops the ball over his own bar from 3 yards, stopping a definite goal for Erling Haaland. Yves Bissouma got booked in the first 15 seconds of the game. Didn't put a foot wrong after that. Absolutely unbelievable. Pape Matar, engine, legs, control, technique. James Maddison, 2 beautiful goals, answering his critics. Decky Kulusevski, he's hungry, so he eats. And the goal that he set up for Pedro Porro via an assist for Dominic Solanke, he does an unbelievable run through central midfield, including a nutmeg. What a player. What a player. Sonny, great performance. Dominic Solanke, endless doggy runs, back and forth, all game. What a performance. Tottenham Hotspur, Ange Postecoglou. Are any of you still saying Ange out? Come on. He's clearly the right man. He's absolutely clearly the person to take us forward. We can go to places like the Etihad. Think about this in terms of cup competitions. We want to win trophies, right? Well, you're going to get a bad draw sometimes. We know we can go to places like this. We can go to Old Trafford. We can turn them over. We put 7 past the 2 Manchester clubs away. Yes, we need consistency. We know that needs to come back. But with results like this, teams are going to realize Tottenham Hotspur are here to stay. We just need to do it now in the games we're expected to win. Just going to go through the match action. Like I mentioned, Bissouma was booked after 15 seconds. Then in the 4th minute, Haaland had an unbelievable chance, but Ben Davies, who had a wonderful game, got his body in the way. Haaland was put in the inside right position. If he'd taken a better touch, I think Haaland would have scored and put Man City 1 up. But instead, he gave Ben Davies a chance to get back and he blocked it. Brilliant. In the first 5 minutes or so, City were piling on the pressure. Spurs were wilting a little bit. But then in the 10th minute, Vicario made a huge save. Man City were over and over and over again getting in down the left in that first half, getting to the byline and cutting it back. And Haaland had a chance first time, bottom left-hand corner, Vicario, huge save with his feet. Really, really good stuff. Then, 12th minute, James Maddison, first goal. Deki Kulusevski found some room on the right. He played beautifully out there all game, kept us up the pitch all game in that final third. Gets on his left foot, typical Kulusevski cross, and Maddison made a Dele Alli-esque late run into the box. Beautiful finish, 3 yards out on the left foot. Then in the 15th minute, Foden had a good chance over the bar, under pressure from Ben Davies again. The back 5, in fact, and Bissouma in front of them just had an unbelievable game throughout. Always putting pressure on the shooters, always making it hard for Manchester City. Then in the 15th minute, in the 17th minute, an absolute worldie of a save from Ederson, because Son Heung-min picked the ball up in the inside left-hand position, brings it onto his right foot, as he loves to do, as he scored so many goals for Spurs like this, whips it into the far top left-hand corner, two-handed double save from Ederson, round for a corner. Then, 21st minute, Haaland over the bar, first time from another Guardiola cutback. And then in the 23rd minute was when I really started noticing how important Pape Matar Sarr was to us in this game. He was everywhere, up and down, breaking stuff up in central midfield. About 3 or 4 times in the first half alone, he was absolutely vital in breaking stuff up in central midfield. 26th minute, Foden had a speculative shot wide. Solanke just over the bar in the 27th minute. Spurs breaking the press, which they did time and time again. They were so brave against Manchester City today. So brave. Constantly breaking the press and finding themselves running with 3, 4 or 5 men at the City defence, and City could not handle it. 29th minute, Haaland should have scored really, but a bad ball was played in when he would have been one-on-one, and it went behind him, and Haaland's shoulders just dropped. You could tell at that moment that Erling Haaland felt it wasn't going to be his day, and to say it wasn't his day was an absolute understatement. Then in the 30th minute, an unbelievable one-handed save from Vic. He made some brilliant saves today. It was offside anyway. Another save in the 36th minute, down to his right-hand side from Savinho from the edge of the box. Spurs were a little bit lucky just a minute later. Pedro Porro, who had a great game, ball comes over the top. He follows it, tries to head it back to Vicario, doesn't get enough on it. And in the end, we got away with it because it bounced and Savinho could not get a foot on it to lob it over the on-rushing Vicario. More work, great work from Pape in the 38th minute in central midfield. And Bissouma had a shot just over the bar in the 41st minute. And then in that last 5 to 10 minutes of the first half, City upping the tempo, trying to put Spurs under pressure. They're 2-0 up at that point, and City knowing if they could get a goal either just before or just after half-time, then Spurs might capitulate, but there was none of it. And we went into half-time 2-0 up. The second half, not until maybe the last 10, 15 minutes, there just weren't as many chances. Akanji should have been booked in the 50th minute for a foul on Madders, but wasn't. Then the third goal, Pedro Porro, 52nd minute. Kulusevski, as I've mentioned, driving through midfield, little nutmeg, finds the man out wide, who I think it might have been Kulusevski himself, actually, wide left, gets the ball across to Solanke. It's just ahead of him, so he has to run a bit wide, gets his head up, sees Pedro Porro on-rushing, hits it first time, middle top corner, 3-0 Tottenham. Then Lewis gets booked, the rain starts coming down, and Man City just have all the possession after that. A cross for Ake was blocked for a corner, just endless blocks from the back four. Haaland hit the bar in the 59th minute after a mistake from Davis and a mistake from Bissouma. We were a bit lucky there. But endless blocks from Porro. Johnson and the like, Porro, Davis, Dragushin, everyone. Just an unbelievable performance. Some shots. Rico Lewis had a shot over the bar. Great save from Edison from Deki Kulusevski after Solanke found him in the 65th minute. A few times where we didn't mark the back post that well, which we know we don't, but they couldn't do anything about it. Gvardiol shot over the bar in around the 64th minute. A Foden long shot in the 72nd minute, but then a huge save in the 79th minute from Vicario, from Erling Haaland, one-on-one, and Vicario gets his body in the way, hits his chest, goes out for a corner, and Vicario gives it the full fist bump, and then there was another one-handed huge save from Gundogan from Vicario as well. But it was really the one from Erling Haaland where he got a huge fist on it from only about 6 yards out. What a great performance. And he was great claiming crosses as well and set pieces. A really huge game for Vicario and his confidence, I think. Then a lot of subs came on. And then the fourth goal, pretty much the last kick of the game, as I mentioned, Werner outpacing Kyle Walker, whipping it in across the box. And Brennan Johnson putting it in at the back post. When was the last time a team went to the Etihad under Pep Guardiola and beat them 4-0? Never, I think is the answer. And Tottenham Hotspur did it, and they thoroughly deserved it. Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham Hotspur. What a team. For those of you watching this, by the way, on the Chris Cowlin channel, Chris will be here at about 7:55 with his Spurs Chat podcast, and on there with him will be his guests, Craig Dearman, Harry Scarf, and Kate Boxall. So make sure you go over to that stream at 7:55 for that, but I'll be on with you for another 10 minutes or so before then. Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm going to go into the comments now. Rolf Kling says, Ben Davis, 10 out of 10, amazing performance. Absolutely. And listen, guys give players like Ben Davis so much stick. He is a consummate professional. He has played for this club for over 10 years, and what a performance. He gives us such great balance there, and he never lets us down. He's always 7 out of 10. Today he was 9 out of 10. Today he was 9 out of 10. Jason Davis says, link your channel, Barnaby Slater. Just go to @Barnaby Slater _ on YouTube. Give me a subscribe there. Sydney Moose says, the Ange out mob can suck that up. Totally agree. Listen, Ange Postecoglou has always been completely open about it. He said there are going to be bumps in the road. There are going to be endless bumps in the road. Ipswich bump in the road. Palace bump in the road. 2-0 at halftime up at Brighton, losing the game. Bump in the road. But how many teams, I've said it, I'll say it again, how many teams go to the Etihad and win 4-0? Billy Foray says plus 14 goal difference. I always think the goal difference is a huge pointer as to how good a team actually are. And plus 14 is magnificent goal difference. Really, really good. Graham Jenkins in the comments being a little bit sarcastic, saying Ange out. Really, really good. So just honestly, guys, I cannot say how proud I am of this team. Gadu in the comments says, the team that's been lambasted for not keeping clean sheets tears ahead of team goal charts with a thrashing of the champions and locks them out at home for no goals, clean sheet. Angelo's keeping things lively and fun. Sydney says, all the Ange doubters will be crawling back under their rocks. Guys, get your questions into the comments and I will answer them for the next 10 minutes or so. We're up to 6th, according to Mark. He says, I think I'll have a Guinness. Come on, you Spurs. I want to talk a little bit more about Deki Kulusevski. What an unbelievable player. I love the fact, and when I've been doing watch-alongs on other channels, and also have some videos on my channel with an amazing guy who knows a lot about his tactics called Jory. And Jory talks about how he can tell, and I agree with him, that Deki Kulusevski is now getting into a mindset of like a Zlatan-esque mindset. Not arrogance, but just like full confidence in himself, full belief, and the ability to run games like he did today. He absolutely dominated that game, Deki Kulusevski. You couldn't get the ball off him. Made brilliant decisions throughout. That cross for Maddison's first goal was unbelievable. Just so proud of him. Listen, if you're Spurs, sign him up for a long-term contract right now. Sign him up. Unbelievable performance from Deki Kulusevski. Matthew Ball says, it's great we won. Nonetheless, I see Ange failing and leaving at the end of next season. What are you talking about, Matthew? How can you say that now? Just enjoy this moment. There are not many times as a Spurs fan that you can enjoy moments like this. 4-0 at the champions. Come on. Come on, Matthew. Just enjoy it. Ange is not going to fail. Ange is getting into us in this young, hungry squad what we can do. He's going to say in the dressing room after that game, there you go, boys. That's what I've been talking about. This is us. This is how we play. He's a bit more pragmatic in these away games now. He's learning too. Come on, you can't say that. Snoopy asked, do you think our form will continue? Well, it's a big test, isn't it? Next game, Fulham have just been done. I think we've got Roma in the Europa League. Then Fulham, who've just been done 4-1 at home by Wolves. So hopefully a bit of confidence down. We've got to beat them. Fulham aren't an easy team. They had a bad result today, but we've got to prove it now and go on a run. We've got to put a string of results together. Just think, we should have beaten Ipswich, and then we'd be, where would we be? Third. We would have been third in the international break. And then, it's a shame. But like I said, Ange said this was going to happen. Ange said it was going to happen. Bumps in the road. He said it this week, didn't he? I took over this club when we'd come 8th in the league, no European football, and we just sold the club's best ever player. Best ever player. So, of course, there are going to be bumps in the road. Of course there are. But also, can you not see that all the building blocks are there? When you go to the Etihad, you dominate them and you beat them 4-0. What a week this is going to be in terms of listening to the Tottenham podcast, watching all the Tottenham content. I love it. I love it. Conrad Kira says, in Ange we trust. Watt says, we need to give Vicario some recognition. Absolutely incredible performance. Didn't make a single mistake and claimed every cross. I completely agree. I've said it, but Vicario, some of those saves were complete worldies. Absolute complete worldies. And we have to give him credit. We've given him enough stick, haven't we, this season, let's face it, for not being strong enough from set pieces and for being targeted. Well, today, he absolutely proved his mettle. And certainly as a shot stopper, he is second to none. He's an unbelievable shot stopper. Mark says, our passing and pressing were incredible today. Yeah, I have to say, Man City, sure, had a lot of possession, but always just moving it left to right, across the pitch, left to right, left to right. They had no ideas. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but they had no ideas, did they? They had no plans. They made a few chances, but they were always from tight angles. There was nothing really absolutely clear-cut, like a clear-cut one-on-one. They should have maybe had a couple of those in the first half. But Spurs played beautifully today. Absolutely beautifully today. Laren Deb, good to see you again, Deb. I've never given Vic a hard time. Good, glad to hear it. Ro Eatsum says, as soon as he brought Timo and Johnson, I knew there was a great chance for fourth. Well, that's what I said. Man City were playing so high at that point and just getting men forward that if we could get the ball on the transition and get them inside down the sides, down the wings, then yeah, there would be a chance. And Werner burning Kyle Walker is something I will not forget. I know Walker had played the whole game and Werner had only just come on, but what an unbelievable moment that was. Michael Zeng says, today is payback for the title sealing match last season. Yeah, that was a difficult one for Ange, wasn't it? Said it was his most difficult moment in football when the fans wanted Spurs to lose so that Arsenal wouldn't win the title. But he's really paid us back, hasn't he? Brilliant. Jedim says, no Romero, no Bentancur, more hunger, desire, and clean sheet. Coincidence. With Bentancur, I think it's a bit of a coincidence. I did say before the game, we need Basuma to have a great game. We need to see the form from him that he showed in the first 10 games of last season. And I think he really, really did. And I thought he was at least a 9 out of 10 Basuma. In terms of Romero, look, Romero is a top quality centre half, but he has had some lapses in concentration this season. I like the balance of Ben Davis on the left and Dragusin. But what I would say about Dragusin is he is more suited to these games where it's backs to the wall a little bit, where you've got to get your body in the way, where you've got to get your head on everything. And I think against teams where we need the ball on the floor a lot more and we need to be braver, I don't think it's going to suit him quite as well. But he's still a kid, Dragusin. He's still only like 22, 23. So give him time. Ange Postecoglou believes in him. Turjo said, thoughts on Solanke. I thought Dominic Solanke had a brilliant game. I thought his hold-up play was unbelievable. His donkey work, just endless pressing, endless running, just all over the pitch. Absolutely fantastic from Dominic Solanke. I'm going to give him a 9.5 out of 10. The chances don't come to him that much at the moment, but they will. We will unlock it, and he will score, if he stays fit, 15 goals this season for sure. Guys, if you're watching this live, please do subscribe to my channel at Barnaby Slater _. And if you're not subscribed already to Chris Cowlin's channel, subscribe to that as well. Give the video a like as well, wherever you are. Let's get this seen by as many Spurs fans as we can, as we just all enjoy this absolutely monumental moment. Charles Squared says, Solanke, fantastic again. DT says, Solanke, great player. Body, mind, spirit says, great performance winning after this game, and still the Ipswich game is unforgivable. Well, frankly, I don't think it is unforgivable. It's just one of the bumps in the road that Ange said would come. And look, they did a number on us the same way we did a number on Manchester City today. And I'm enjoying watching Micah Richards in the studio. I can't hear what he's saying, but he looks absolutely gutted. And so he should be. So listen, guys, what a time to be alive it is. Ro Eastem says Vicario was magic today. TSOM says Werner is an asset against tired fullbacks. Completely agree. And I think maybe in reality, that's why Werner was given another year on loan, because they knew that he wouldn't be first choice. Son would be first choice, and then Mikey Moore's coming through as well. But in games where they're absolutely knackered and their space is in behind, who else is better to bring on to just say to him, run down the left-hand side and do what you can do, Werner, which is run very quickly. And he's a decent crosser with his left foot. He really is. He's a decent crosser on his left foot. Roistem says, forget Ipswich, we're getting stronger. Dan Lynch says, Coy's superb performance. I completely agree. Elvin Wilson, fire, fire, fire emojis. Jojo says, only 209 likes, people. Come on, thumbs up for Barnaby. Yeah, let's get the likes going, guys. Come on, let's get as many likes as we can. This is the first watch-along we've done on Chris Cowlin's channel, and we'll be doing many, many more. What else can I tell you about today's game, guys? Just, I think for me, it really shows the spirit. It shows the desire. Don't forget, the beginning of the international break, there were reports that Ange had fallen out with a number of his players, weren't there? Doesn't look like it, does it? Looks like they're all totally playing for him. And unbelievably 4-0 at the Etihad. And I just think it's so good. It could have just been so horrible if we'd got pumped easily today after that result against Ipswich. And the pressure really would have been on Ange Postecoglou. So I'm absolutely ecstatic. I'm absolutely ecstatic that we got that result and that we've shown, again, that word that I won't say that begins with an S and ends in Erzi and Dr. Tottenham is not a thing. Jean Ola says, Ginola, got it. Ginola, love it. Thank you for writing in. Says, every Spurs fan has to back Ange 1,000,000% now, surely. Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. There is just absolutely nothing, is there, to Ange out? There's nothing. He's got us playing good football. We're beating the big teams. Like I said earlier, going to Old Trafford, winning 3-0, going to the Etihad, winning 4-0. Once we get the consistency in, we will be an unbelievable threat. We will be an unbelievable team over and over and over again. And don't forget, we've got injuries. Mickey van der Ven still out. Romero out for this one. Bentancur suspended. So, yeah, really good. Carl Nemzo says, Spurs are leading goal scorers. Second best goal difference, third best defense. I don't understand why fans dive into the minutiae to try and build negativity around where Ange is taking the club. Well, Carl, I completely agree with you. The defense has improved so much. The narrative about Spurs being bad at set pieces isn't there anymore. It can't be there because we've only conceded from 2 all season. Samuel Shepherd was wondering where Barnaby was for this one. Samuel, thanks a lot. Make sure you subscribe to Chris. I'm going to be doing watch-alongs here for a little while. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, @BarnabySlater_, please do subscribe, guys. Really appreciate it. Daniel Levy. I don't think it's the real Daniel Levy, but he's come in the comments. Ange out crowd equals clowns. Let's go back to what Carl said. Third best defense in the league. Top scorers in the league. We have deserved more points this season than we've had. And the reality is that happens. Bumps in the road, as I mentioned. But these are the kind of games you don't forget. Do you remember in Pochettino's season where he really started building something? That was the game against Chelsea at home, wasn't it? Where Harry Kane ripped John Terry a new one. Well, this could be that game for Ange Postecoglou. It really could be. And I'm so pleased for James Maddison. You know, he's had a lot of stick. People have been saying his form hasn't been there. His form's actually been pretty decent, I think, this season. I'm so pleased with him. 2 goals, man of the match performance, and surely undroppable now. Absolutely undroppable now. Ash S says, let's just take in this amazing result and enjoy the Ange way. Completely agree. TSOM says, all the fans have to be on board now. They must be able to see what Ange is building. We're not there yet, but we are close. They must also see how useful Werner is when there's space to attack. Listen, people have been saying we should get rid of Werner in the January window, send him back to Leipzig. I don't agree. What's the point of doing that? If there are moments like that, even if it's for 5 minutes here or 5 minutes there, where he can set up a goal and just make, like I said earlier, the cherry on the top of the icing, on top of the cake, he can do that. He's a basic player, but he's a worker. He's a worker bee. He's not afraid to put a shift in. He doesn't hate being on the bench. I think keep him. Logan Langdon says, Radu did good today. Yeah, I want to talk about Radu Dragusin. Listen, he's got a lot of stick, but he did great today. Really, really proud of him. Put his body on the line. He's got to improve on the ball. There is no doubt. He has to improve on the ball. But what a performance from him. I'd have him as a 9, 9.5 out of 10. Roundtable Talk says, the fact that people still find something to bitch about blows my mind. Yep, that's the internet though, Roundtable Talk. Like I said, let's all get drunk tonight, guys. Nothing, just very few moments where you can enjoy results like this. Scott Rizal says we need one more striker, Jonathan David. Yeah, well, he's on the list, isn't he? He is on the list, but I think there are going to be bigger clubs from around Europe potentially going in for him. Guys, I'm just going to tell you in 5 minutes, Chris Cowlin will be back with his usual post-match Spurs chat podcast, and that will be a good one. Make sure you tune in. It's on a different stream. So when I cut this out in the next few minutes' time, make sure you go over to the different stream where Chris will have brilliant guests, Craig Dearman, Harry Scarf, and Kate Boxall, and they'll be talking about all of the brilliant moments in today's game. Graham Potts says from Aussie, you Pommies should be positive today. I agree. Let's be positive. Samuel Shepherd says, wasn't expecting the result and thought it'd be a narrow loss, but still wouldn't have been Ange out. The strange losses have been frustrating, but surely people can see that things are being built. Exactly. Ginola says Chris must be in cloud nine. I'm sure he is. I'm sure right now he's trying to make his way out of the Etihad to find a place where he can get on that Spurs chat podcast. Stephanie Perry, thank you for writing in. Come on, you Spurs. Well done, boys. Turjo says Angel Gomez in January. Well, yeah, I mean, I think he is running to the end of his contract, Angel Gomez. I have a little bit of a worry about Gomez's, and I mentioned it in a video on my channel this week. I have a little bit of worry about his size in central midfield in the Premier League, but he can do it in international football. So who's to say he can't do it in the Premier League? His contract is running out. So if Spurs put some money on the table in January, then you could see his club potentially trying to let him go for a little bit of money. Mev D 2011 says, now I'm looking forward to Roma. Yeah, we've got Roma in the week. That'll be a good one. Hopefully we can get back home. A bit of, you know what I'd love to see in that, a real glory night where the home fans, because of this performance, properly get behind the boys and make it a fortress on that game against Roma. And just let's go and do a number on Roma as well. Let's go and do a number on them. Gomez, according to Scott Rizal, says Gomez is like N'Golo Kante. Yeah, I mean, listen, we need to build up the depth of our squad. Absolutely. If you saw the bench today where we had two, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, we need to boost that depth. And Gomez is someone you could get probably quite cheaply. Gadu says, it must be remembered just the other day, United's new manager Amrim said there's no plan B with him. It's just one way. One thing he believes in and wants to convince players of. Enjoy the Ange ride. I completely agree. Everybody absolutely loving Amrim for saying that stuff, but also not always loving Ange Postecoglou for the same thing. Let's see. Edward Wyvoz says, clean sheet. Pepper's been found out. He doesn't adapt. He has no plan B, yada, yada. Yeah, great comment, guys. Thank you so much, all of you, for sending your comments in today, guys. If you haven't pressed like on this video, please do press like. Please do subscribe both to my channel, at Barnaby Slater _ on YouTube, and Chris Cowlin's channel, at Chris Cowlin, where I've been doing this watch along. Thoroughly enjoyed it, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed the post-match reaction, talking to all you guys in the Q&As. And listen, like I said, there are not many moments where you get to enjoy games like this. So thoroughly enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thoroughly enjoy watching Match of the Day, watching Match of the Day 2, watching all the highlights, listening to all the pundits. James Maddison is still doing his post-match interview, so he's clearly... I love Madders. When he's on interview, he's just as honest as he can be, isn't he? And that's why Sky love talking to him. And just enjoy all of the interviews, because as we all know, the international break was tough, wasn't it? It was really tough. But then this is what we've deserved. This is what Ange Postecoglou deserves. This is what the club deserve. We're not far away, guys. There will be more bumps in the road. There will be more difficult times, but we are not far away. And I'm just absolutely loving this victory. Tottenham Hotspur have gone to the Etihad and won 4-0. And I, for one, am here for it and for enjoying the entire rest of this week. Guys, make sure you tune in to Chris Cowlin on the Spurs Chat podcast in a couple of minutes' time over on a different stream on his channel. He's there with Craig Dearman, Harry Scarf, and Kate Boxall. Subscribe to his channel. Give this video a like. Give that video a like. And just most importantly, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back hopefully for more watch-alongs with Chris Cowlin on his channel. And let's keep talking in all of them, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Come on, you Spurs.